wants 200, baby.
You ready to get back to the trading action?
You aim, you shoot, and make money.
It's going to be a great day. You guys know where you're at.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome. As the volatility increases, as the volatility at least continues, we've got a pretty interesting open for the market. Pretty good day today as well when it comes to finally getting some type of an event with JPOW talking. We're getting some bank earnings. We'll go take a look at some of that as well, and just take a look across the board here and see what's moving and what potentially take profit on. Then a little bit later, we have Josh and we have Kevin. They're going to come by. They're going to hang out and talk about small caps and what's going on in that cool little degen space. So I appreciate everyone, as always, for coming by. And without further ado, let's pop into it over here. Great. So, and using here the SP 500. I could also use the ES. It'll be the same, roughly the same chart. But I just like using this because it's just kind of more encompassed. This is the CFD. And the idea here is what we're seeing is this current candle that you're seeing is actually today's candle. So that's why I use, especially when I'm looking at daily charts off the open, I take a look at the particular candle that's going on because, again, I think it's important to kind of keep an eye on where we are, because it's one of those, if you zoomed in or even if you looked at the number and you say, oh, we're down 0.8% today, down 0.8% on that. On the IWM, we're down 1.2%. You'd look at that and say, oh, that's an awful day. But then you got to put it in context, right? You got to say, okay, we had this massive down move, and then we really bounced and replaced that. So for me, the most important thing, the only thing that matters is what's going to happen at these lows, right? If we never kind of come back and retest these for a long time, then it just shows that the bulls are on. What I think you might end up getting here is, I think you're going to have a lot of demand in this candle. That's my bet, right? You guys know that I'm generally more bullish than bearish. I don't like perma. I'm not perma anything. In a bear market, I'll get bearish. But the idea, the thing that I'm thinking is that, okay, imagine you were somebody who shorted into this or even sold your position into this, and all of a sudden the market's coming back down. You get that kind of second chance to go, okay, well, I missed the first time, away we go. Especially if you shorted into this and you're seeing, okay, I'm not down as much now as I was just a little bit ago, then I think you got a little bit of a chance to cover there, specifically because there's not really any huge bad move that I see happening. There's just more China talk, and we're over that by now, right? We don't care anymore, right? We got to be over it by now. We've seen China talk come, we've seen China talk go, we've seen trade wars come and go, and it doesn't seem to affect anything at all in the long run. So why would we care now? That's kind of what I'm thinking about. Now, also, if you go into the shorter term chart, you see these bounces that have taken place. These have all come out when we've had actual earnings reports come. And we've been seeing a lot of that when it comes to banks. And I know I'm a boomer when I say this, but banks are actually very important. It's not just all about AI and robotics and space and fancy stuff like that. Someone's got to get the money to build those things, right? They have to get the cash in order to be able to fund these quantum computers that don't exist and all of this different stuff. Got to do it. So how do you get that money? Get them from banks. So if you have banks doing very well, then it's going to be easier to get financing in order to be able to come up with the latest, greatest, whatever it is. If you have banks that are starting to get financially worried and they're starting to tighten up on things, well, that's going to be harder in order to get those ideas, right? You're going to be harder to get, the next Rigetti or IONQ or Joby or, right? All these things that are kind of pushing the market. So, right, we need to just make sure that we are understanding what's going on with these banks. Again, I know banks aren't the most interesting thing in the world, but they're one of the most important, right? So you got to take a look at this and just see what's happening with these individual type of securities, and if this is something that's going to continue going forward. So first of all, Goldman Sachs, I know, reported they're down a little bit here after this reporting. I don't want that alert. I don't care about that alert. Um, and they beat, where is it here? They beat, I saw it. We'll bring up Walter Bloomberg. He's talked about all these again. You guys know I'm not the news guy, but it's important as always that we kind of keep an eye on all of this. So where are we here? Where was Goldman Sachs? So Citigroup beat top line and bottom line, so we can look at that. Morning, Josh. Morning, James. So Citigroup beat top and bottom line, which is good, right? Strong banks, good things. So Citigroup's kind of interesting because this has been pulling back, and it's been pretty big move in a straight line. Like, it's a 10% down move, and it's just been day after day, kind of relentless selling. So, right now that we're good news and out of the way, and they've been selling into that good news, that's super interesting. So, nice little pop there as well. And I saw JP Morgan beat as well. I think a lot of these banks came out at the same time. It looks like we don't have it updated here in TradingView yet. That's fine. JP Morgan is showing a beat here. And with Goldman, they beat on their FIC, which is fixed income currencies and commodities, for those who don't know what FIC means. And then they missed on equities. So equity trading revenue fell a little bit, and then FIC trading revenue increased a little bit. So that's probably why Goldman Sachs is suffering just a bit here. So overall, there's not like a blowout quarter from a lot of these, but it's also not crap. So it's somewhere in the middle of those two things, which is usually how it happens. So individual banks seem to be doing, pretty A-okay. We've got some news with AMD. It's up 3% here pre-market, or sorry, 2% now. So it must have given a little bit back here. A nice little pop up. They've got some more AI news. Oracle, and Oracle's buying some of AMD's chips. So more of the whole, Peter paying Paul over and over again when it comes to different ideas. And someone's just looking at me to do some levels on AMD. We certainly can do that. Just FYI again this morning, because Mitch is traveling, I'm going to be hanging out here for the first hour solo. And then the guys are going to come in, Josh and Kevin. They're going to do some small cap stuff. And when they come in, I'm going to take off to make sure that I'm packed and ready to go. So I think with AMD, the main thing you want to look at is this 224 even area, right? Because not only is it the high after that news came out, it's also yesterday's high, right? So 224, give or take. That's the number to watch. Anything before that could be a little bit bearish. Anything above that is looking good. And with it being such a big component of the Qs, that's going to be really important to me, right? Because we need to see some of these names, these individual names, to move higher in order for the Qs to actually kind of perk up as well. I know there's some the bank calls are happening right now, so that's going to be a big thing as well. And if you didn't know, if you're a real mega ultra degen, which I don't know why you'd ever do this, but some people like to, you can go on StockTwits. You can actually listen to all the calls here. And if you look at this kind of carousel that I'm moving, these are all the calls that are going on currently. So we have JP Morgan, J&J, Domino's Pizza, a couple of these calls that are going on now. And that's just important to note because, right, something like JP Morgan, if the guy who's on the call, which is generally the CFO and sometimes the CEO for a period of time, what they're going to say is going to be important. It's going to matter because they're the CEO of like the largest bank in the world. So we're gonna have to pay attention to what these guys are saying and what these banks are doing. But so we have Citigroup up a little bit, we have JP Morgan down a little bit. Really just kind of a nothing thing across the curve when it comes to banks. And really, I think a non-event is bullish. What you don't want, what the market would have been scared of, what I would have been scared of, is them coming out saying, "Okay, well, people aren't trading anymore. There's no, there's no, yeah, there's no trading going on. There's no, no one's buying anything anymore." That type of condition is what you get, which is in my opinion, better bear market precursor than any jobs, super delayed, already priced in economic number that comes out. What are they saying? Are people trading? Are people buying and selling? Are they creating liquidities for the market? If so, then we're probably bulled up. And if not, we got to worry about that just a little bit. So let's start looking at some individual levels and zoom into the S&P 500 and kind of see what happens here. Um, yeah, I'm just going to keep an eye on the news here as well. Not seeing a lot going on when it comes to different news events. Yeah. The news I heard this morning is JP Morgan was saying that Americans are paying less on the tariffs than they thought. Could be, right? It's one of those we are paying 55% and companies are eating the rest when it comes to tariffs. Could be. And the other thing to keep in mind is obviously the the chart that he brought out on the beginning of the tariff tantrum, none of that came to fruition, right? It's always uh, it was some negotiation kind of back or forth, and even they're already backing down off these kind of Chinese tariffs, right? There's a lot of posturing and talking and that kind of stuff going on, but I don't really care too much. But overall, I think it's good to look at the XLF, which is down a little bit today, but holding, and to see what this. And again, it's not sexy. I know it's not a low float stock that tripled off the lows. It's not, a quantum computer company that doesn't exist that's trading at 2,000 times forward earnings. It's nothing like that. But again, these are these are the guts. These are kind of the root of what's happening. And what I think is important to note is that we are so far, as of right now, with 15 minutes to go to the open, we are holding yesterday's low. And I think that is very, very important for the banks going forward. We want to see a hold of yesterday's low on the banks. That will certainly help out the overall market. That's kind of in a little bit on the struggle bus right now. And for the overall markets, a reclaim of yesterday's low is a very bullish thing. Right? If we go back out to the SPY, and if we ever get back through yesterday's low, which is sitting right here, that's going to be interesting. So I'm going to mark that because I think this is kind of the level we need to watch for. And then check out the pre-market lows. These are the two zones that I'm really interested in here for the SPY, because this zone right here is not only yesterday's low, but it's the pre-market's low, and it's kind of right at the open here as well. And then the other side of that, if you flip it, is if we break this post-market low, that also lines up roughly with the low that we had on Friday. And that becomes very important as well. But I would kind of mark this as like the freak out low, because way down here, because this is where things really got scary, I guess, where there was a big push down that everyone's like going, "Oh my god, right? Is this actually a crash that happens?" This, I think, was the crypto liquidations that occurred. So that is obviously very important going forward. Is that kind of crypto liquidation low, and seeing if we're going to be able to defend that low going forward. City CFO says we stand ready to assist customers if they face financial hardship during government shutdown. Good, I guess. What's interesting too is that as we're getting bought every time we take a little dip here in the SPY, and that makes sense to me as well because again, if I was short on Friday, if I shorted Friday, anywhere into the close, and I got this like 3% gap up yesterday, if I get any sort of a pullback, I'm going to look at that as okay, a final relief of okay, I can cover this short and not be too hurt. I will say I feel like I'm flying a little bit blind when it comes to um my positioning data because the whole CTFC is shut down and the commitment of traders happening, right? So Bowman is getting interviewed right now. That's a big thing. So we got to keep an eye on that. If we go here to the calendar, we can see any reports that we have today. And it's really just what's going on here. So this Fed Bowman is talking right now. And Fed, he's saying that he sees more rate cuts into the end of the year and blah blah blah. But to be honest, I don't know any of these guys. Like I can't understand any of these dudes and what they're saying because I don't know which ones are important and which ones not. I know there's probably like a cheat sheet somewhere which ones can vote because there's a lot of guys who go up there and they pound their chest, say a bunch of things, but they don't actually have any power at all because they can't vote for anything, which is again just wild to me. Um, and then we have Fed Chair Powell. He is speaking at 12:20, so we got to keep that in mind. That'll be a little bit. I know. I think the guys will probably still be on, maybe for that. Isn't Bowman Trump's new guy? I don't know. Kalshi next Fed chair. This is what I love. I really do love these. As someone who doesn't have a gambling problem, I love these prediction markets because if they're a great way to answer a question like who does the world think the next Fed chair will be? And currently it's Hassett that everyone's thinking. So here's Bowman. Bowman's only got a 5% chance. So currently the market thinks that it will be this Hassett dude by pretty wide margin. 41% is going to be him, 15% it's going to be everyone else. Yeah, so pretty wide margin, then less than 1%. Again, I still want to put like a penny on Janet Yellen just in case, just the long shot odds. That's who the world is kind of pricing in is going to be the next Fed chair. Is he talking today? No, Hassett is not talking. So with Powell talking, that's going to be interesting because he still has the job for a little bit. I know he'll probably be getting grilled mostly on things like, how are you getting data with the government shutdown, which they've already answered 100 times, but I'm sure there'll be a lot of that kind of stuff. What do you think of the labor market during the government shutdown? I think it will all be government shutdown related, but again, we need to keep in mind that the um, we need to keep in mind that we are in a scenario in which, generally speaking, longer, based off the study that I did, the longer the government shut down, the better it is for the market. So, I'm not worried about any of that stuff. I just want to see if we can get a little bit of a pop, if we start to reclaim yesterday's range and even go green on the day after being down, like, I think almost over 1% on the Qs. And we were down, I think 1% pretty much exactly on the SPYs as at the low here. If we start to see that, yeah, 1.25%, if we see that go green, look out, bears. But Tara saying, finally trim some MT and Emax on this insane speculation on rare earths. Yeah, I think, and this isn't a really bold take. What's going on in the rare earth sphere right now is basically people just saying, they want to bet on the new game is to bet on which of these will be socialized. That's the new game. Is okay. We know that rare earths, and again, there's a logic for it. There's a logic for if something is vitally important to the government, um, then it's or vitally important to the company or the country, then to make it at home. So I get that. But that's the game that investors are trying to play right now, and I could see a world in which a fund just bought a basket of all of these things, right? So a basket of, give me the MPs and the UUs and the TMQs and all these rare earth companies, and just let's buy like 1% of all of them, because the 2 or 3 that get more government funding or a government contract or, uh, at best yet, just throw more money, just buy them, that's gonna be a massive gain, and then if the rest of them do nothing in that period of time or even go down a little bit, that's fine, right? But, so we're talking about Walmart doing it again. Yeah, so earnings for Walmart? What did they do? Is Walmart an AI co yes. Walmart partners with open AIs. Okay. Well, funny enough, I own some Etsy, which I didn't even know was a company. And on this day right here, this big pop day, this is where I bought in. I bought in right over these prior highs at 65. And that was the news there, is that you're going to be able to buy Walmart. So there you go. What's going on? Let's take a look here. AI first shopping experience. That page didn't load. Okay. So I guess it's going to be kind of like Etsy, where you have a world in which you can just go to ChatGPT and say, "Hey, go to Walmart and buy this thing for me," and it will just do it. Good morning, everyone. So that's obviously going to be good for the overall market. Walmart's actually a pretty decent component of the market, so that's not going to be a bad thing that's going to drag anything down. So we'll keep that in mind. Again, Walmart is very boring, but the chart is really interesting because you've got a really clear zone. I'll just move this up here in this area. I call it 103, and we just smashed through that. So if we can hold 103 and a half here today on any pullback, that might be an interesting buy for me and my long term stuff. That's going right. I'm just looking at this, just drawing it out for you. I like this. Like this triangle that's going on. Right? We kept hitting this trend line over and over again. We hit the trend line yesterday, and now we're ripping through there. So if we can hold this kind of zone, you can see the prior high here and then back here. There's a lot of wicks in this area. We had one day that we closed above 105, and then we kind of smashed back down. So a lot of resistance for Walmart in this zone. So if you're someone who likes to fade these things, that would mean take a little short. But if it holds, I'm more interested in that side of things, right? If we hold this area, then this kind of 104 to 103 zone, and we start to push higher, that might be a buy for me. I do have some cash still freed up from Friday where I got stopped out on a couple positions. That one's going to be interesting to me, I think. Oops, didn't mean to refresh that, but that's fine. I had to refresh that one. White House budget preparing to batten down the hatches and ride out the shutdowns. Will pay the troop and law enforcement. Layoffs continue. Yeah, so really we're just in a world now where I think who was it that said it? I think James or yeah, I always say just wait. And that's the thing is right, I know Tack was saying that the cutoff when it comes to this rarer stuff is in December. I really don't think there's a world where any of this stuff happens. I think Trump uh, kind of realized during the last tariff tantrum that nobody was having any fun, and he kind of lost a lot of support there, and is probably not doing it again, right? The coins reverse. Yeah, we're getting a little bit of sell-off across the crypto space here on Bitcoin. Back at its low here. However, Ethereum is nowhere near its low, so there's some good relative strength going on in the different markets. If you can keep a close eye on the crypto space, right? We see, and that's what I'm measuring everything against that low, and I think that's what you have to look at. This is the only zone to me that is important in the market right now. Is if we lose this zone in any meaningful way or for any meaningful amount of time, I'm going to be very seriously considering, selling some things, packing up a little bit, raising some cash, and then redeploying that cash later, either lower or after a more sustained bounce or something, because those are panic lows, and panic lows is something that you have to watch because you know that there was a lot of emotion at that level. Whatever happened at that zone, this was like the liquidity event that we saw all across crypto, in which people were, you know, 50, 100 times, which is ridiculous, leveraged into some of these coins, and they all like kind of went to zero. Um, so as long as we're holding that area and we're holding the bounce from this zone, that's that's great. Right, because I will say on Friday during this kind of sell off in through here, I bought. I need to find the 30-minute chart. I bought some a fair amount, yeah, somewhere in this zone into an Ethereum ETF into like a long term kind of retirement account. Just looking to see if we can ever break through all time highs and we can keep going again. That's great. But I just want to caution everyone to what I said before, not because I'm some sort of genius, just because I think when you have increased volatility, you also have increased emotions. And I think we have to kind of table a lot of that for now, is we have to uh, just look at this bar. And for me, all decisions are being made off of this bar. Any meaningful close or series of closes below this bar, that's where I start to get a little bit worried. As long as we're inside this range, if we go up 1% or down 1%, we just chop around inside the range. I don't really care that much. And it's just because when you have a shock, I kind of look at it as like you throw a giant rock in the water and then you have all the ripples that come out after that. So you huck the giant rock in the water, and that's this right here, and it makes a big splash. And then it takes a while for those ripples to kind of dissipate and for everything to chill out and for a direction to happen. If that direction's lower, then that direction's lower and it will break this low, and then we'll continue to kind of push and grind lower. And then again, I will be more inclined to say this was an amazing year. Let's raise some cash. Let's focus on more on kind of some short term trading. Let's, a little bit more of a focus on maybe building for me more day trading algorithms, that type of thing that doesn't care about market direction. While the majority of my net worth, my wealth, is in cash, waiting for this to happen. Because I remember, just go back and like look at all these huge events, right? So this was the big splash here. And if you just kind of said, okay, well, as long as we're above that low, I'm happy. Right? You had a couple wiggles and then away you go. If same thing here on this big crash, right? Same thing. So when there's a large event like that, and we lose this day by a little bit, but we couldn't really close below it. And then we couldn't close below this big day. These things happen, and right, this is another example. You take this massive day and you just kind of mark the low and mark the high, and then we grind back up after that, right? Over and over again. And again, it's not perfect. There's certainly a world where we close below this candle for a couple days and I exit everything, and then we rip back up to all-time highs. That's fine. We're not trying to um we're not trying to predict necessarily what's going to happen in the market. We are trying to make decisions now so that if certain events happen, then we have a plan. So my plan is I'm going to stay in, especially all the stuff that I bought, during this low on that Friday as we open up here. I'm going to try to stay involved in those things. And I'm going to try to hold on, and I'm going to try to come up with a plan. And then if a plan does happen, if that does happen, then I know what I got to do. I've got it all planned out. So we're opening here. So I'm going to switch over to the SPY and I'm just going to watch those levels that we talked about and just see, right? So far, not much of anything. A little back and forth action in the market, but we're finally open as well. Oh, probably talking about the crypto space there, Shy said, "Hey, I was down 50% at one point, but I didn't use leverage." That was that should be the big takeaway, I think, for a lot of the people out there who saw that event take place, right? Is the liquidation that happened to everyone is don't use leverage. And, well, don't use leverage for especially liquid securities, and in our case with equities holding overnight, and right, don't panic, don't react. That's why, like, a lot of people say, oh, you're a permable or whatever. It's like, no, I just have plans, right? I will not react in the moment of the market selling, go, oh my god, I've got to dump everything. There's just never been a time in my career in which I've really reacted to price actions and I was happy about it. There's never a time where, like, man, you really acted there on the fly without really thinking or having a plan. And man, that was a really good idea by you. It's usually just for me, not at all the way that it goes. Um, I'm coming here. I'm just bringing up my account so I can talk some of the trades that went through. Looks like I already have got a couple positions here. I'm short some Yumi and I'm short some WWR. Just gotta move. I got this open on the iPad. That's why I'm just bringing it. I've got my iPad all set up. That's what I'm bringing to my trip. Except if it breaks, I don't get mad, and I can get everything I need to. It's certain. That's not it. UAMY. Yeah. So the bot short a little bit is UMA and WWR as well, and both these things are falling. So that's okay by me. So looking here at the SPY, so far no action. We want to keep an eye on all of this. I'm actually half tempted to take some of these off already. Again, the rules for me when it comes to my systems trading are I'm only allowed to take profits early. I'm not allowed to um, sell. I'm not allowed to buy more. I'm not allowed to whatever. But look at this thing just dumping. All right, I'm gonna close this position and just take the $250 right off the open there. Lock that in. And whatever a WWR is, I'm going to sell half of a WWR. Excuse me here. And a WWR. I have just noticed, and this is something I'm recording, and it makes sense to because I have, of course, all these things backlisted, but then you start watching them intraday. And when you watch them intraday, you start to learn some things. And what I learned is that quite often you're good just to pay yourself off that flush. Right? So, yeah, so $200 right off the open with those two trades. Right? You just pay yourself on those little flushes a little bit. I'm never covering everything. I'm just covering like half. So Yumi again and WWR. I just take half of those and say, okay, I'm good with that, and then go from there. And it looks like I missed CRML, which it wanted to do as well. So, well, good job, TAC, first of all, who was saying, came in and said, hey, we're taking some profits on our rare earths because looks like we're getting a gap down kind of across the board on the rare earth space. FMCC. So I bought some FMCC. Oh, and it's halted down at 10 here on my personal account, but it says it's not available in trade the pool. So let me try something here. FMCC. Nope. Okay. FMNA. They have Fannie Mae. It's probably the same chart, right? Nope. Okay. And then, sorry, a lot of trades going off here. And fast, just shorted a little bit of fast. No, bought a little bit of fast. So long a little bit of this. And again, this is just the bot. You can see there's a lot of trades that go on here, and that's the point. So I want to take 10 to 20 trades potentially in this account, and then not really care about any one particular trade. Right? Just take them, take the profits when they come, and go from there. So we're holding on here for the SPY, selling just a bit, but still not a lot of anything. So, right, this is the low we have right here. So we got to keep an eye on that, see if we can hold that low and potentially push higher. Um, yes, so yes, we have this push down. We're sitting right at this low right here. Now we've got to watch this low to see if that's something that we hold up against. Getting a lot of trades right here off the open, so I apologize if there's any dead air, but so low while these guys are traveling about. My Oscar that I've talked about is a discretionary trade. It's not. It's looking okay, right? I bought a little bit uh, around here in the panic. Talked about this, and then bought a little bit again yesterday. Talked about that with you guys as well. And again, the idea here is simple with Oscar: is big push down into a trend line and some anchored VWAPs. Just trying to get a little bit of a bounce, a little bit of push from that. Nothing crazy. WWR, I've now flipped to the long side on WWR. So I'm out of the short there and now long. Interesting. That happens sometimes. It's rare, but that can happen. So here we go. We're continuing this sell on get out of here. AI is trying to listen to me. On the SPY. So we're right at this low. So if we break this low, that's where I think we got to start getting interesting. We got to start watching here. Is that an undercut and rally back through, or do we break it and sustain under it? If we break it and we stay under it, then I think it's one of those. Okay, maybe we got to watch and start keeping an eye on this low down here at 646. We're at 654. So let's see what's going on here. And let's take a little bit of a look around the horn as a whole, right? The Dow is selling off a little bit more. We have RSP that's actually holding up. That RSP is only up 0.6%. The reason it's very important for those who don't know to look at RSP versus the SPY is just how the SPY is weighted. The SPY is mostly large cap tech. It's the majority of what's the SPY in it. So on the days that you have RSP moving higher and then you have the S&P 500 moving lower, you have these periods of time where, okay, it's large cap tech is pulling us down, and quite the opposite, right? If you have a bounce in the market and then you have RSP not bouncing with it, then you know, okay, it's more of an everything. IMO, RSP is a better indication of what's happening out there in the world, whereas the SPY is just a really good indication of what's happening in large cap tech. So we are now down. Again, this line right here is our pre-market, post-market low. So we're down there now. We're flirting with it, and now we have to see what the next potential move is from here to see if this is something that we're going to get a bounce on or not. I've got my eyes on crypto, which is not doing a whole lot, but not looking great. A nice bounce here in crypto. And again, RSP is something that is interesting to me as we're hitting a new high of the day while the SPY is trying to bounce off this level. I personally, I don't know about you guys, I personally get a little bit worried when things happen too perfectly in the markets, right? If we're going to come right to the pre-market low and then just rip from there, that that worries me a little bit because the market's usually not that fun. So I don't know if I would trust this bounce wholeheartedly. My WWR is moving. That's working out great. Man, nailed both sides of that, at least for now. I'm gonna take some off the table, I think, in this WWR. So we shorted that off the open. covered in there. Told you guys when the bot flipped long, which it did, and now this thing's rallying. So I'm gonna actually take a little bit off the table, put a couple bucks in my pockets there as well. So you're talking about Nugget. Now remember that Nugget is not gold, right? Nugget is gold miners, and that's an important distinction, I would say, because 833, 433, selling a little bit of that there. Sold half that WHR, locking that in the profit. So far, a good day. We're up 350 or so. Can't complain. Yeah, Nugget is gold miners, not gold. Right. So GLD, if you're on TradingView and you don't want to buy futures data, you can go XAU USD. I'll leave that up for a second. XAU USD and hit go. That's going to mirror. That's the CFD, the contract for difference, which is just a different way to trade. Right? There's CFDs for equities, there's CFD for stocks, there's CFDs for all these things. It's just a different way to look at that same thing, same idea. So just FYI, you can little free hack for you there, I guess. Um, oh, and this is James saying, "Don't let me distract you from your trades." No, this is the beauty of how I trade. I, I just I look over at the bot, and because I've now every now and then I say I'm going to take a discretionary trade, and I went back and I looked at all those discretionary trades, and they were net losers. So I'm not going to do that anymore. Day trading. So I just watch the bot, and then those things like WWR. We talked about how we short it right off the open, and then it sold, and then it rebought somewhere around the 240s. So when I see it spike to 260, I just took half off. But yeah, so NUGT, and the other thing is NUGT is leverage. So GDX is going to be your gold. NUGT is going to move 2x GDX, but it's going to degrade over time. So GDX is going to move as well. So XAU, USD, if your guys have CFDs at all, that's good. Right, GLD obviously going to be the more pure played, or PSVG, GV. Oh, come on, Tack. I know you're going to know you're help me. What's the physical trust? Gold trust, not hold trust. Gold trust. IAU, it's another one to do it as well. IAU is a gold trust. There's um, GLD holds contracts on gold. There's a PSGV or something like that that holds the actual physical gold, like the company actually puts gold somewhere, and they have that. Um, that as well. So just make sure, because if you look at them in the short run, it probably doesn't matter that much. But if you look at the long run, GDX. So GDX, right? If you look at this, you say, okay, well, we broke out August 7th on GDX. And then you go to GLD, right? You August 7th was like right here. So these charts are not going to be exactly lined up, gold and gold miners. This is a thing with commodities, just like right, CL oil hasn't moved at all. And then you look at something like an Exxon Mobil, right? Some of these things like Exxon Mobil's right at highs. It couldn't be a higher price. And then CL hasn't moved at all. So yeah, just with commodities are weird because, and think of it like this. You could be mining oil, drilling for oil. You could be a great company, or you could be drilling for oil and your CEO could be like stealing and you could be a fraud. So that's an extreme case, but just so there's a lot of things that can change the miner and the commodity, the guy who produces the commodity and the commodity himself. In theory, they're going to move somewhat together, but there can be dispersions with like really good companies or really crap companies, like things like this. So you want to make sure that you're doing, if you want to trade gold, you can trade gold. And there are leveraged gold products, right? G Tech. What's in G Tech? Goldman Sachs Tech Leaders Equity Fund. Okay. XEL, Excel Energy, SPLV. That's what I'm thinking. SPLV is the silver one, right? Yeah, so there's one of those for golds as well. So, because I know there's people out there that don't like SLV, which is I think the most liquid of the ETFs for tracking silver, because they hold contracts where PSLV or SPLV. See, I'm dyslexic. I apologize. Like actually dyslexic, not self-diagnosed. The This is going to be different, right? This is going to hold actual bars. Like Invesco has like actual silver bars hanging out somewhere. So a lot of people just like this as a better represent. Oh no, sorry, this is a low volatility ETF. I don't even just ignore the last 10 minutes. So SPY, let's zoom in here and take a look. Now this, if we rally back through VWAP now, I will be a little bit more interested because that was almost perfectly to the tick that we bounced. If we undercut now and we start to rally through, now I'm a little bit more interested. I'm a little bit more hyped when it comes to this because the um, yeah, make sure the expense ratio. That's another. So obviously, if you're playing an ETF, there's people that are trading the ETF and managing the ETF and doing a lot of work, and so there's expenses from that. And each ETF has a different expense ratio, which isn't something that you generally think about when it comes to stocks. Is that you're going to get charged a little bit for each one. So yeah, make sure you keep that an eye. So if we bounce here and we get back through VWAP, that's going to turn me a little bit bullish on the day because we came down and we undercut those lows. If we just continue through, if we break this low right now, I'm going to think we're probably in for a bear day. But I want to give the same caveat I did yesterday. This is yesterday's price action, where after a big shock event, you have a time in which the market has to take a breath and digest and to figure it out and to do whatever. And we could be entering that stage today. We could see both those. Also, we have JPOW speaking, right? And do you want to take a big bet before the JPOW man sends us to the stratosphere or down to the dumpsters? I don't think so. Uh, and he could say great things and the economy could rip. He could say awful things and the economy could tank. But I am so far, this has been a great day. This FAST, I'm going to sell half here. And I'm selling a little bit more WWR. That continues to rocket. And that will be it for selling these things. I don't, I'm just getting a little bit quicker with profit taking, partly because I'm trying to fight my greed. And I'm trying to do them in parts. And part of the reason for this, we can talk about this if you guys are interested, is that QMMM trade that I had. I had it in a trade the pool account, and I had it in my own account. And the trade the pool account, I sold it pretty quickly, simply because right, we've got that 50% consistency thing. So I wanted to make sure it didn't get too crazy above that. And then in my own account, I just sold it because I was up. Right, it was a high five-figure day. Like I was super happy. Um, it was a great time, and that's not really the move, right? It's not the thing that we're looking for. It's not. I should have had the guts to kind of hold and say, even though I was up so much, and that was the real reason. If we get into psychologically, right? I look in the account and I say, "Wow, I'm up a whole bunch of money. Let me take it off." And that's not right. It's not what you should do. I'm a human, so I did it, but it's not what you should do. So what I'm doing now is I'm just going back and just saying, okay, well, how could I have mitigated that? It would have been very hard for me not to take like a good five-figure trade and not do anything with it, but I could have just sold half. And like the trade, I've way over doubled the money in the actual trade. I could have sold half, right? And that looking back was obviously the move. Right? For those who don't know what I'm talking about, this happened live on stream. right? My bought QNMMM before this craziness. I bought it kind of right here in the 7, 8. And then I looked at it and it was like 30, and I was like, "Holy smokes, I'm a genius." And I sold, and then of course this crazy thing. This is like a once in 10 years that something like this is going to happen. So I'm kind of mad that I sold, trade the pool around, I think around in the 20s, and then in my own account in the mid 30s. But looking back, the obvious answer was just to sell half. And then if this right ripped into the end of the day, 274, like a 10x from where I sold. So that's why I'm doing this a little bit more in the account. I'm saying, okay, I am out uh, 2/3 of WR that we got in from the 230s. We're up at 295, and then I'm just going to leave the rest. I'm not going to look at them anymore. And fast, I took half off of fast. So I bought fast, I think somewhere in this area, 41.75 or so. We get up to 42.30. I'm out half. And then, right now, I feel good. I've locked in. You can see here, I've locked in $377 so far today. I don't know what's going to happen to these trades, but obviously, and I'm not moving the stop to break even. I don't understand why people do that. It makes no sense to me. Um, the but the risk on this WR is now $60 instead of 200, which it was before. And on FAS, it's less than $100, which it was 200 before. So I'm just going to leave those, and then I'm doing both now. I'm paying myself a little bit. I'm making a little bit of money here and there, and then I'm just giving myself this chance for if things want to go, they can certainly go. The SPY is back up. It's trying. It's now just flirting. You can see how important this level has been in this 554.50. You can see how such a big zone there. It's VWAP. I really want us to see us reclaim VWAP on volume, kind of get moving. And all of this is happening while in the banks like JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs, they're down 4, 5, 6%. So if you look at the XLF, wow, the XLF is holding. So it's just those guys that are doing bad. Yeah, Citigroup is holding okay. Wells Fargo is holding okay. But like Robinhood. Robinhood in the XLF? I don't know. Yeah, Robinhood's down. That's because Bitcoin is. We're seeing, yeah, recovery here in Bitcoin. We're seeing a recovery in Ethereum. My Oscar is doing well. It's actually almost back to yesterday's high, which is amazing. It was down like 5% or something in the pre-market, which I didn't like as someone who's holding it. It's now back to even on the day, so I'll take that any day. I see my MindMed, a little rippage, trying to get through yesterday's high. So at least for now, cancel the crash. Crisis averted. RSP, again, RSP being the average stock out there, is doing great. Um, the idea is, again, this is the average stock, and if the average stock is doing okay, then that's a better sign of what your portfolio should look like and kind of what you care about, as opposed to right, just looking at what big cap tech is doing. And when I look at the SPY, that happens from there. Michael, when we go a little down under a level and it starts to move up, does that mean it's grabbing liquidity? That's the idea. So, listen, now that we don't have Mitch here, we can talk seriously. They don't see your order. For them to know where your stop loss is, it's one of those. If you ever want to know if a conspiracy theory has legs, you simply look at how many people would have to be in on it. So it'd be everyone who ever worked at a market maker now, everyone who's ever in the past looked at a market maker or worked at a market maker. And spoiler alert, they don't see your orders. But there are some obvious places in which a lot of people will put stop loss and will put orders. And sometimes, if I am looking for liquidity as a large market participant, which you'll never know when they're doing it. That's why I say things like, okay, we undercut this level and now we're back through. Now that we're through VWAP, maybe we can move up to highs here. The idea is that under something as significant as a pre-market low, there might be a lot of people who bought there and put a stop under pre-market lows. So they can push down and they can see if that's because they can't see your order. It's illegal. They can't do it. It doesn't exist. Right? Especially if you're on an eval, right? You don't have it's a paper account at that point. So just know all that. And so that's what they're looking for is to try to fill with this liquidity. Now, I am like 50-50 on even if I'll give that as a truth. 100% I know for sure I will, like, fight this to the death that they don't hunt individual orders. They can't. The amount of money that would be required to move a security to get your order is just crazy. It's insanity. It's like flat earth levels of craziness. But I can see a world, I'll say, in which en masse, if there's a lot of potential orders in one area or another, that the market could go and see what happens at that zone, right? Is there enough stop loss orders to really push us down? Is there anything that's going to kind of hold us up? That type of thing. Again, I am more on the fence of. Um, I will say it really doesn't matter. You know, if you're someone who's getting stopped out of your position all the time, then your stops are in the wrong place. It's really the grand scheme of things. Means you're probably putting your stops likely where everyone else in the world's putting your stops, and so it probably means it's based off of, like, price as opposed to, um, something that makes sense. Uh, I have a whole podcast coming out about this soon. I can share it when I'm back if you guys are interested in the chat, about kinda what this means. Alright, let's take a look. We got MindMed ripping, great. Fast and WWR are still doing well. I've taken chunks off of those, so I'm not doing anything with them now, and I don't see anything else from the bot that's going. Um, oh, poopy, 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 poopy. Oh, I did something bad. Hold on. USAR is not making it back at all. JP Morgan, whew, falling out of bed there with JP Morgan. Whatever TAXO is, the bot tried to pick up. I don't think it was liquid enough, though. Let's take a look here in the overall markets. And again, because it's just me, you guys can feel free to ask all the questions that you guys absolutely want to know, because it will help me chat with you guys. BBAI, yeah, that's a nice push. So, relative strength, I think right now is really important. And a great way to look at relative strength is just peg everything to Friday's high, right? If your stock is over Friday's high, it's a great stock. It's an amazing stock if it's above Friday's high. You're probably really in something that's really, really good. And then if your stock is under Friday's low, it's probably bad. And you have to watch that as well because you have an event type of day, right? You said earlier if you'd be worried if the spider went up to 650, 450. I wouldn't I'd be worried if I was a short if it went up to no, well 650, 450 is yeah, right here. So if I was a short, I would be worried. And the idea I was talking about there is because the 650, 450, this is the pre-market low. Um, so there's going to be a lot of people watching that zone. And you can see what happens as soon as that zone held, we popped. So if I was short this market, this is I'm looking for this to break the pre-market low and continue. But if it gets back over 650, 450, well, it means that this break of pre-market low was, you call it liquidity grabs. Back in my day as an old man, we used to call it like bull trap, bear trap, that type of thing. And it's just a way for the market to kind of fake people into position and say, oh, we're breaking pre-market low. It's time to short. We're breaking a new low of the day. It's time to short. And then they use that to buy it right up. And that's what they're doing. And every candle from here has been an uptick. So that would be me. It's kind of like if you flip this chart on its head, if you were buying a breakout of pre-market high, you would get worried if that failed pretty quickly. You should get out of your position and kind of move on. Because just saying that that is reversing in such a way that it's like, okay, right? I had my chance to make my money and they took it from me. So it's no different from, yeah, I think it's a good way to do it. It's no different from a failed breakout, because you can have those all the time where, you think, uh, where does this stop? Yeah, you think something's gonna break out and it's gonna move past that level, and if it doesn't do that pretty quickly, you start to get a little bit worried, right? So we're going to hear this SOAR. So my bot picked up some short on SOAR, and it's just looking at this extreme move and saying this one's a little bit too overextended. So that's another trade that just came through there. Yeah, so far, perfect textbook undercut and rally, bear trap, liquidity grab, whatever the kids are calling it today. Essentially, an undercut of a major important level. That just meant for buying. I will say though, don't get too crazy about anything until JPOW at 12:20. The man can come up there, say a couple words, and shoot us into the stratosphere, or you could get up there and say a couple words and just completely like take our ice cream and ruin our day. So far, we're looking really good here on the S&P 500. Just seeing that action, and then seeing IWM, for example. So here's your small caps. These guys are usually having the worst time, and right now they're doing fantastic. Generally speaking, if the market is down, you're going to see the market down more from the IWM or the small caps than you're going to see from large caps. We're not getting that right now, which is like perfect for us, right? You know, what else do you want to see than the junkiest guys doing a okay? Because it probably means that the good ones are doing good as well. So my mind med here is flirting with 13. Very happy. That puts me in equity highs, equity all-time highs. Looking here at my long-term account, I'll take that. And my SOAR is starting to pay just a little bit here. Again, getting just faster on the whole profit target thing, playing with the volatility. And I see you down there, Kev. You can pop yourself up whenever you want. Set up for as long as you need there. Or you're frozen. I think he's frozen. He's a very, you should see what I see. I should take a screenshot of this. He's very, very, no, he's gone. So to say, he's either very intensely staring at me or he's frozen, because he was just frozen like he was trying to fight. But yeah, very soon we're going to get Kevin, we're going to get Josh in here. They're going to talk about all like the real degen stuff that they were trading all the time. And once they get in here, I'm going to go see, hopefully the passport office is done with my passport. Um, and we can get that going. I see you, but I don't see you. I see the thing, but I don't see the face. Hold on, let me see if I can. It says offline. Ooh, did I do something? I hope I didn't do something, because Mitch is the only one I think I know. Hopefully, Kevin will figure it out. I believe in him. He's a smart guy. Yeah, so Sora is starting to pull down a little bit here. Again, I'm going to be tempted to take a little bit of profit off the table because we are short right at 374. So if we get a little bit of a push lower here as from this price, I'm just going to take a little bit of this off the table, and just very, very quickly. As part of the benefit of what I'm doing is I tested for a fairly high win rate, like a 55, 60% win rate across these things. So I'm looking at that and saying, well, if I'm right 55, 60% of the time, if I take little bits of profit here and there, it's just going to crank that win rate much higher, which is going to increase my consistency, if not increase my absolute amount of money. Um, and no, Kevin, we can't see I can see you in our little shelf down below there. Um, although you might be frozen or you're just like, again, staring intensely, but I can't see you when you're on the screen. It just says offline for some reason. Yeah. So the idea is if I take profits early, I know what I'm doing. Um, I am lowering my potential profit on any given trade in exchange for a risk reward spike or a risk reward benefit. And I'm okay with that. So I thought long and hard about it, and I say, oh, I'm okay with it because part of the things that I have to remember is that my own personal account, I'm way more okay with volatility. In a prop account, when I'm trading someone else's money, they're not as okay with volatility. So I need to make sure that I am um, just taking profits when I see them and just trying to crank that money. Oh, you're here. You did it.
Carlo's account
Congratulations.
worked. Yeah, good morning. It's been a very eventful day so far. I know you got to run and get your passport. I'm
Yes.
looking forward to seeing you tomorrow.
I know. It's gonna be well, let's not jinx anything, but they told
Yeah.
me it would be ready at noon today, and I live in the middle of nowhere, so it's like a 45-minute drive into the city, so, yes, let's just
Okay.
let us
Yeah.
hope
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
that
How's your
fingers
morning been
crossed.
though?
It's been, amazing. I think I'm 100% right now, so I'll take it. It's been, over $500
Oh,
in the trade the pool account day, which
oh,
has
very
been,
cool. Yeah.
yeah, it's very good.
That's
The bot just did a good job. It's been a good market for my particular system, which is a lot of mean reverting. So when you have rip
yep.
downs and rip backs up again and all this kind of stuff, this is the best. This kind of
So
choppy
today's
market
been very
is the best.
fruitful for hangovers, if you will. And I know Angelo just mentioned the small caps from yesterday. Like, guys, that's why it's so important. Like when the longs are having their day, just let them have it. Because Nos, I don't know if
Yeah,
you've seen show you some of these charts.
yeah,
Uh, let me play around with this just a second. Do
sure.
do 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 replace
But yeah, you're 100% right, and I think that's part of the hardest part for people
five
who
5 for
short
5.
these
Yeah.
small caps
Hmm.
is they want to get them on day one. I really think you're onto something, which is completely
Look
sidestepping
at
going on day one.
GWH. Look at GWH, dude. And I missed that
Oh,
one.
good. Oh wow, yeah. Yeah, because I shorted this on day one. I actually got stopped out yesterday
Yeah.
because it just continued to rip. Which this is why I know we had the conversation yesterday of my personal account versus my trade the pool one, and that's
Mhm.
part of the problem is that when I looked at my personal account, it was a down day, but it wasn't down that much because, of course, where I got stopped out of the trade the pool account was kind of right at the top, where my personal account, right, it just by the time it closed, it was down 50% from that high and it was okay. But yeah, if you just ignored this entirely day one,
Yes.
and
That's
then
traders' problems. They can't ignore it. You've got to you got to step away. Like you can't equate more action with more progress on the account. That's what I try to tell the guys. Like, yeah, you're gonna be wrong if that happens, but it's okay if you're wrong. Like we stabbed at it yesterday, but don't stay wrong. That's the problem. When you stay wrong, we've got to have the discipline to step away because day two, as Angelo's pointing out, they're unbelievable. Like they've just been excellent. Some of these plays.
I just wouldn't even like. I just don't. And this is just me personally. I
STI
just
as
wouldn't even
well.
look. I just like why?
ELBM.
Why
I
even?
did hit
Why bother?
ELBM.
No.
Yeah, look at ELBM. I hit that one. And some of them are still in play, so don't think that there's not profit to make here. ELBM, I did take that one as well. The thing, though, Nas, like with some of these setups, maybe I should have stabbed. I didn't take GWH because I'm like, well, that's in the same sector as ELBM, and then if they get a day two leg on up, I don't want to, be twice as wrong
Yeah.
essentially. Where,
No,
but so
that
it's
makes sense.
taken one of them because I've done that in times past where I'm like, okay, I'm shorting all these, but they're in the same sector, and then that
Yeah.
sector moves all together and it just doesn't. That
Yeah. And at that point, you're really just leveraging yourself at that point, right? You
yeah.
might as well pick the one that looks the best and trade it a little bit bigger if you want a little bit more leverage behind it. But yeah, I just think like as a whole, and this is just the way I work. You got a system that works so well, and it looks so interesting. I wouldn't even be, I wouldn't be scanning. I wouldn't be looking. I wouldn't even see them. Right? I'd have just a process where at the end of every night, I'm like, you have a scan built that shows you the best hangovers, and
Hmm.
you just find those, and that's your focus.
It's
Because
it's
again, for
so
me,
true. Yeah.
I'm interested in systematizing them. And one thing I noticed right away on both of these, ELBM and GWH, is right through the 2-day view app, right? So
Hmm.
this is the view app of today and yesterday. You lose that, and then they just kind of fall apart after that. So I'm wondering, because I'm always looking to build these, is just hey, can I just build a system where I say, hey, if these stocks, and then you could do it on like 20 stocks if you want to. And the system will only enter if they break down under the 2-day VWAP. And so you're
Yeah.
just sitting there waiting. And
Yeah,
just
you're right. Like focus on the A hands. I mean, it's, but I will trade other edges because I do see some like JDZG. I worked this morning, guys. It's a scam ticker. I will work other edges, but I think what you're saying is very wise because it's like that's where sizing comes into play. Like we don't want to have random sizing because random sizing will equate to random results. So if you have your bread and butter setup, maybe that's the hand, that's your pocket ace that you're going to apply more chips on the table to, and then the other hands I will reduce the position because maybe there's less edge, right? Less edge on those setups.
Well, yeah, just something to think about before I take off is just to think of the systematic side of things. Is the way I look at it is you go down one route until you have a robot do it, and then your discretion is freed up to look at something else. So for the way like the systems I have on the go now, they're working great for the day trading side of things. So now it's like, okay, what's the next thing? And the way I look at it is if you've got 4 or 5 systems that you trade and they're all working, that's great. Pick the best one and just figure out how to really systematize that, how to get the trades entered, the stop losses, all of that. Even if you want to kind of manage them yourself, which I've been doing a lot of today, and it's been working great, that's all fine. But just get that one just like squared away, like just it's every day. That's your base. And then you put another system on top of it, and then you follow that train until it's systematized, and then another one, and then another one. So I've talked about it before. I know some guys out there at different prop firms managing tons of money, and one of them has 36 individual systems that he's running currently. And it's like you couldn't do that unless you had them all in a way where how he does it, because he doesn't trust the bot to actually take the trade himself, is it sets up like there's like a pop-up. It changes his chart, and it pops up in his face, and it says, "Do you want to take this trade based off this system?" And he looks at it for a second, and then clicks yes or no. But yeah, he's to the point now where he's a 7-figure a year trader, and 36 systems, which even for me seems overwhelming, but somehow he makes it work.
That's great. I can't wait to nerd out more tomorrow with you on this discussion.
When do you guys arrive? Do you know?
Very early. I'm getting there like 8 in the morning, and then I'm going to trade with a guy from the green team in the morning. But then I'm free to hang out, with us. Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be there and hanging out. What about you,
Josh? When are you?
Right around. I think it's like Eastern locally. I think it's, if I'm not mistaken, 2:30 or something like that. I'll have to go back and look, but I think it's either 2:30 or 3:30. I think it's 2:30 locally.
Yeah, so I'm the latest one then, I think. So you guys can definitely start the party without me.
Oh, come on. Here he goes again. He's already trying to scapegoat out of getting on the mic. It's not happening, buddy. Listen right now. We're going to get you.
So for my time, I think is 3. Orlando's Eastern, right?
Right.
Yeah. So 3. I land at 3.
Cool.
Okay.
Orlando.
Wow. Okay. Hold on. How was yesterday? How was Turkey Day over there? How was it? And definitely, how was the stuffing?
Oh, the stuffing was good.
Good.
She nailed it, right? And she's not even here, and she definitely doesn't watch the stream, so I don't have to lie. She wouldn't never find out unless you guys were at it. But no, it was a great job. Everyone had a great time. The kids, man, I had to kick down their doors this morning to get them up for school. They were out like turkey coma. Especially the 3-year-old is usually bouncing up against the walls trying to get out of bed in the morning. But I had to get in there at 7:30 and say, "All right, bud, you got to get to daycare. I got to work here." So yeah, that's how you know it's a good meal, when everyone just passes out for 14 hours afterwards. So it was great. But yeah, gents, I have to bounce here. I have to hopefully get my passport.
Look at one ticker real quick. EDHL. Yeah. Pull that one up. EDHL. So here's something else you could systematize. A ticker that's moved 50% plus, gets through the dollar and the magic 20. I mean, it's that's something I noticed. I know we've talked about it a lot, how difficult the dollar is.
20.
Yeah, something to think about as well. But working out well there. Yeah.
Lots of chats about this kind of stuff. Don't worry, this is like a pilgrimage for me, right? I'm going to convert all of you guys to systematic traders. Just you wait. I'll just I'll just be that guy. You'll be trying to talk about fun stuff. I'll be like,
We're
yeah,
all
but
just converting
what
each other.
about systematic trading? Come on, get into it. How about like, hold on, I want to check just the scene to make sure that that's working first. Oh, you're still.
Yeah, give me. For some reason Carlo's worked, but mine. I may need to log out and back in. So Josh, I'll send it over to you, and then
Cool.
I'll swing
That's
back in.
All right, gents.
Yeah, that was fun.
Thanks
Safe
for,
travels,
Hey,
and
get your passport situated. And we got to see you tomorrow. Can't wait to see you and have some fun in Orlando, my man.
Awesome. Thanks, man. Talk to you guys soon.
Safe travels, bub.
Later.
all right, I'll be right back.
You're good. Sounds good, bub. Sounds good. Hopefully you guys have had a good day so far. I swear it doesn't seem like, for whatever reason, my camera, when I'm on the live stream on YouTube, because I'm watching it now, it isn't clear. I don't know why my camera does it. It seems like a tad fuzzy, doesn't it? I don't know why. I promise you it's a good quality camera. Like when I'm on EV Mux or on my own live stream, if you watched it last Friday, it's nice and crisp. I don't know why it shows a little bit kind of fuzzy, but anyway. What's up, Tack? How you doing? Yeah, and safe travels from Michael, Mr. Michael Noss, Mr. Noss. Can't help but when I say his last name, thinking Fast and Furious, right? It's just like, you think Noss, I think Fast and Furious. I got to have a Supra, GTR, got to have a Eclipse, RX-8, RX-7, I guess it was actually in the movies, weren't they? Back then, the 7s. It seems fine to me. Okay, yes, maybe cleaning my... Okay, maybe clean it. Maybe clean it. It's clean. Like, I'm clean on EV Mux. Yeah, it's like, gotta clean it. What's up, James? Tack. Again, Derek, what's up? Seems fine to me. Cool. Yeah, for whatever reason, I have no idea why. So I don't see your face, but we do have your chart up, Kevin. So we do have your chart up, boss. Or at least we did have it up there for a second. At least I saw it on the live stream. Now it's back to mine. Kevin trying to get his stuff figured out there. We're getting close. We're getting it there. Getting there. Give me Supra all day long. Yeah, Supra or Godzilla R34. I want an R34. Yeah, that and Too Fast, Too Furious, they didn't give it enough longevity. At the beginning of the movie. R34 or Supra, either one of those. I really, it's hard for me to pick. I would probably go R34 just because it'd be different, having that right-hand side drive, versus left-hand side with the Supra. But either way, expensive. A lot of money to put together. But yeah, any of those, I think any of them. To be honest, if they're already like, if someone wants to like, hey, here's an RX-7. I've already loaded it up with Vilside, yada yada yada. Okay, cool. To give it to me, I'll take it because they all sound amazing. They're all really really quick and they're beautiful cars. So,
how's your morning been going, man?
Yeah, dude. There you go, Tack. I know, Chevelle, but we love new cars. I like old cars, but only so many of them. They're just too heavy for me. I like lightness and the new modern technology, but old stuff's good too. So we're back. We're ready to rock and roll. My man. So yeah, okay. I'm sure a lot of traders, I don't know, I haven't heard you yet. I'm guessing did you get some of that ELBM short?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm glad you got it because one of my traders in chat said, hey, I'm doing the hangover trade with ELBM. I'm like, go do it. I was waiting for a setup, and sure enough, ELBM.
They learned something.
Yes.
Oh, I'm so happy about that.
Yes.
Who was it?
Tim. I don't know if anyone else took it in chat, but Tim took it for sure. So
okay.
Beautiful. I mean, I was expecting a slow move, nice, steady, maybe down to the mid to low fives. And next thing you know, it's like a roller coaster that just picked up momentum, like or a snowball. Yes. I was like, whoa, here it goes. It's really going now.
That makes my day. I love hearing that. There were a few, Tim. Let's have a little quiz. What other hangovers did you see out there? There were a few of them. Man, I love to hear that. The only thing I'm working right now is leftovers on JDZG. That was like a Chinese scam that hit pre-market resistance. Like the lessons we go over, which, guys, we're recording the final small cap episode today, and then they're going to pump them out on YouTube. It's like I said, Josh, I'm grabbing the popcorn and watching it. I could probably learn something listening to myself sometimes. But it's going to be a good series, guys. Today we're wrapping that up, and can't wait to see you tomorrow, Josh. And Angelo's going to be there too tomorrow. It's just going to be a good time. Oh, we lost Josh. And let me get my screen up and running. Yeah, Hangover's very, very profitable. Let's go over here. Let's get Josh back up in here. Sharing your screen. I don't hear you, Josh. Multiple definitions on Google. Yeah, you're probably not going to find it, James, on the tube, the hangover strategy, but you'll find it on my channel. Find it on my channel, the hangover strategy, and we did a lesson not long ago on Josh's YouTube channel as well. But go to my channel. I'll just click.
I
on
recorded
the,
that too on Friday, so I'll put that out and tag you when I put that on YouTube. So I've recorded that little like the segment of when you went over that. So I'll tag you and put that on YouTube. So it'll definitely be under my YouTube at some point. I would do it this week. Of course, yeah. We're like again. Sorry to like. I left you like, dang. AK's already headed to Orlando, I guess now. Okay, he's cutting out early.
Yeah,
he's so excited. He's already leaving. But no, yeah, man, I can't wait for tomorrow for sure to get there and have some fun because we got traders coming from. I got some traders coming. I know you do. I'll trade the pool. It'll be fun. It'll be fun for sure. I wish you were staying the whole week, my man. I wish you were able to stay through Saturday.
Yeah. Likewise, we could trade in the lazy river together. Be a good time until the computer drops in the river and we're stuck in a position and blow up our GWAV. That one's halted down. I might have to utilize your charts, Josh, because mine for some reason aren't popping up here.
Good to go, my man. I got charts on charts on charts. I'm always looking at 4. I'm never looking at just one, so I usually like looking at 4.
Actually, here we go. I think I can fix it.
You're good. Let's see. I'll go there after this thing. By the way, how was the competition? Well, James, competition is over. Competition is over, James. Competition is over. GWAV is halted down too, by the way. But yeah, competition's over. That ended yesterday. It was a 1 day. We had Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, which was round 1. Whoever was above Ackman got to go on to the finals, which was a lot of people. That really wasn't that hard to beat Ackman in the end. He actually didn't make a lot of money. And in the end, I think he lost money in the tournament. So whoever was above him Friday, which was like, I would say, about 200 people, I think it was, entered yesterday for a 1 round. Everyone was reset at 0, downset huts. When the market opens, go trade. And it was right as the market opened, a 1 day, essentially challenge. And whoever the top 10 were got prizes.
If we were scoring that thing like golf, I think I would have won it. But
lowest 4 wins, baby.
Yeah. I mean, I knew it was like everyone's if you're going to win that thing, you're going for a home run. I mean, that's just the simple truth of it. So right. You're either going to hit the home run or you're not. Yeah. That's and so STI was that play yesterday. Whoever went long STI, and rode that thing all day. I'm sure that was the ticker.
Yeah, STI, and then ELBM was mine that I made on the 120K. So I wish I would have went bigger, and then B shorted right there at that 875 rule area. I would have. I was hoping it'd get to 10, and I was like, I'm going to go heavy again. Mm-hmm. And if I would have shorted that there was a fail on on ELBM that fell at 875 and went all the way back down. I think around into the 5s or 4s. I would have made the top 10. I was just outside the top 10, which hey, I'll still take 15th, 16th, or whatever, but. It was definitely fun to do.
Yeah, good work on that. Yeah, that was. I mean, you made 100K live, dude. That was sweet.
Yeah, that was dope yesterday on the ELB. I'm sure. I love to, like I said, that was so funny. Nos calling me out, like, okay, who just maxed out? I heard it. Yeah, and it's giving you that. No, not happening. You're not getting any more. And I was like,
WKEY straight up right now. Just alerting that, guys. Getting some volume here. Let's take a look. 1 o'clock this morning, they announced some news. 2025 preliminary revenue. So that one's on earnings. WKEY hitting $10 resistance right now. Just FYI. Like I said, right now I'm kicking back. I'm gonna look left. We look left to predict right. Josh, look, this morning, in my pre-market stream, I was telling the guys, I was like, look. Yesterday, the Warriors, the Bulls, they had their day, and you step aside when that's happening. Like if you're gonna attempt, to either obviously join them on the long side or step out of the way. So I stepped out of the way. yesterday. And then today, Tim, is what provides like the beautiful hangovers. You have these tickers that are up so many hundreds of percent. We don't have to smack them day one. I mean, right? We don't have to smack them day one. Let's step out of the way and hit them day two when all the bulls are off of them and they're all focused on something else in small cap land. Like SSKN, whatever skin company that was this morning that was pumping up. It's heavy right now against 250s. But yeah, let's flip through and make sure we're not missing anything. So GWAV. This one's up percentage-wise a lot from yesterday as well. Metal play, I believe. So this AQMS, CRML, we have at TMQ maybe. There's so many metal plays that today, they're just up a lot. Maybe as day traders, I'm looking for fluctuations intraday, right? Like some people throw. They get frustrated with the trading style because they're like, this is like they came out with good news. Well, the saying goes, buy the rumor, sell the news. I'm not trying to trade where this is going to be next year. I'm trading today, and today it may be up many hundreds of percent. It may appear heavy. It may be hitting certain resistance lines, and so GWAV, this metal play right now, 20 could be the risk guide. On the short, STI, interesting little inverse head and shoulders I'm noticing right now that's putting in. Now I'm not longing STI. I would like today, similar analysis for the hangovers. I would like a little fade here. But I do notice this little inverse head and shoulders that she's putting in, attempting a red to green move right now on low volume. ELBM, little bounce there, battery play. And again, the one I'm working, JDZG, just fading that one a little. This edge, I trade the hangovers mainly. I'll size those, but I will trade and size down some of these other plays that are up a decent percentage on no news and maybe popping up towards pre-market resistance levels. Sorry, I'm long-winded, Josh. What you got?
You're
for
good.
us?
No, yeah, I'm just having you're covering it all. I mean, there's really not a lot going on today versus what we had yesterday, and a lot of it, we're getting just kind of immediate pullback, kind of dumpy type action versus plays holding up. And so I'm waiting for and hoping was anticipating more of a day like yesterday, where we were getting those reversals, up top, and then back down, and up top again and back down. You just had to wait for them, and be patient for it. But we had the bullish moves too, on top of the fact. And today is almost the opposite, where plays aren't holding and going down to the bottom side and continuing down versus continuing up. So just waiting for moves up. Like I was telling my traders, maybe going over to SMR, which I would usually this time of the day is a great time to get a trade on. SMR hasn't had a lot of good movement today, unfortunately, though. So I don't really like it as of now for a trade. So just sitting back and waiting, find something that we can trade. Good setups, the key here as we enter an hour plus into the market open. You need a lot of the volume momentumist type movement starts to end, and you really have to wait for setups to form again. I think that's what we talked about in yesterday's lesson was setups, right, and patterns. And so that's what you're waiting for now is that. Now we are getting AQMS to pop back up here a little bit for reversal. If I was in the challenge, I would probably go massive right here at this $19 mark. But this is a good area for a double top on AQMS for a potential trade there. That's about the only thing I'm seeing right now is AQMS for a short right here.
AQMS, interesting. Yeah, that one's up quite a bit too and curling back around towards pre-market resistance. It's an edge I like to trade. I know Angelo just mentioned MNTS, and that one hitting some pre-market resistance well. It provides you clear, defined levels to risk off of. Even the high that it just put in, the 193, or against $2, we're a little bit all, 10, 13 cents off of the high that it just put in back at VWAP. So that's interesting. SSKN is still up and holding the magic 20, 220 right now. You got to love these headlines. Laser, XMR laser demonstrates promising results. So
yeah, baby.
Well, they should be promising. You wouldn't want to say the opposite of that.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm like. What else are you going to say? The double top working on AQMS right there. I was going to start stabbing at that at about 500 shares, maybe 1,000 shares, and here comes the reversal already. It was going to maybe get a little bit higher for me. Regardless, beautiful double top there on AQMS. It's about
again the double to risk off of. Still got a decent double there to risk off of for a fade on down.
Yeah.
16s where it was base, and that's I like that setup.
Not much. That's what otherwise that'd be about the only trade I'm looking at right now that was worth taking. Otherwise, it's just someone sitting back, waiting for a good setup to form. That was the only setup I saw forming, and that was moving back on up there. It was pretty nice. Sorry.
Yeah, I like that. I do like that level. Monitoring that as well.
Beautiful short there. Oh, beautiful short right there.
WKEY. Yeah, what did she end up doing?
Yeah.
So, oh wow, it kind of is stabilizing up there around 10. Interesting enough. So earnings plays. I'll throw this in there for free. Like earnings, I typically will short. Euphoria. Sell high, buy low, sell high. It's not, not nothing you haven't heard before. But WKEY with earnings. Earnings is one of those things that I tend to be more cautious of. Just because tickers do gravitate towards their intrinsic value over time, as the wise Buffett said. So earnings typically will hold plays up, and that's why it's not surprising this thing's actually holding okay here.
AQMS gorgeous short right there. Gorgeous short right there. $2 reversal, $1.50 or so. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. It's really what we're working with. What I was kind of working with this week. Looking for more of that today, and it's about the only one of the trades that's really done that in market, giving you that setup for a fail and reversal up top.
Yeah, I mean that's honestly AQMS is like a big picture play for me too. I could see that thing fading to like 12 today. It's a little spready, so you'd have to size it appropriately. Tim, I liked your analysis too on ELBM. You're starting there and looking to size into it. That's something the power of scaling is very important. A lot of traders utilize the power of scaling.
The power of love, the power of scaling.
MNTS rejecting off of the 190. Good alert, Angelo. You're on the road, aren't you, Angelo? You and Tim trading together?
Where are they at? Are they already in Orlando?
Well, I saw a video they posted.
Okay.
It looked like they were having a beer this morning.
Okay.
Or was that last night's video?
Yeah, right. These days are running together.
Yeah, that looks like a good time. All right. Yeah, and so anything, Josh, and large cap land?
I haven't actually gone through those yet. I was going to kind of start flipping through those in a minute. That's why I was that really hurts. AQMS, good short right there. I wish I would have. I had 500 on the market to stab in because I didn't have a limit order set up top. So it wouldn't have been a great fill, but still would have been a good trade right there. Just watching that and watch it go to fruition as I wanted to. But yeah, I haven't really moved to large caps. And I had that feeling today too, like I talked about with my traders and my stream and the alerts that I give out, that when it came to small caps, just so many small caps today. You're not going to have a lot of good solid movement, in my opinion. Now, we did get the hangover plays that worked out, but otherwise, those like the new runners, the new top gainers, GWAV, your SLBX, those newer runners that were popping up today just weren't going to probably have clean charting, and sure enough, they didn't. So that's where I usually now want to move over to large caps and try to find something that's moving, technically sound, and find something that looks pretty.
Yeah. A couple plays that. Just to still keep on your radar, guys. GWAV, I mean, that one did halt down, and she's just kind of staying down here around 18. This is right near its open as well. GWAV had a morning spike, but looks heavy against. I mean, this is a play where I'd size down and give it like points of risk. That's kind of a play like GWAV. So. Monitoring that right now. Any pop there, I do like the 20-ish risk guide, GWAV. MNTS, Angela, yeah, it looked good. I'm kind of stubborn. Like, if I don't get the entry I want, I kind of step away, and sometimes I should still stab at them.
Right,
yeah. AQMS, I like Josh's play there. I mean, I still think there's a trade there. I'm interested in, maybe not getting that entry. Like if I don't get my entry, maybe I just size down a little bit and still.
Right, yeah.
It does feel a little, chasey when you don't get your entry, but I like the big picture play AQMS. Outside of that, still just kicking back with leftovers JDZG, and that's all right now. But those two have my interest for sure. STI, this one's really getting my interest as well, guys. This is kind of slow and steady. This was yesterday's big play. Yesterday's huge play, STI. It's getting slow. This inverse head and shoulders is testing this open out. I mean, it just went green on the day from 1820-ish, and slow and steady there. I'm gonna avoid it right now. I don't like shorting stair steppers. If we get like a euphoric move up towards this previous clothesline, 21, that's where likely we start getting a lot of longs from yesterday. This is hangover analysis here. Have longs that are involved there, looking to get out, break even. So something I'm monitoring. Euphoria is what I'm looking for, though, not shorting the stair-steppy nature of that. Then Wiki, WKEY, Wiki.
Yeah, it's just sticking that little
Yeah.
wedge up there from
Yeah.
10 to 960 area. So I'm just sitting sideways.
SSKN holding the Magic 20 and popping up towards VWAP. Could get a chat room on it. So that one just eyeballing it.
LAC previous run of there, another lithium play is running up, getting a good spike, good alert there from Austin Trader. 940 resistance from last Tuesday. A week ago today looks really good for a short up top. So if that gets to 940, I would definitely take a short at 940 for LAC. We'll see how that rolls. It's getting a nice, good, big, strong pop and move with volume. So I'd like to get that up to 940. So I'm watching LAC. ELBM and GWH almost look identical today.
Which one's EWLM and which one's ELBM?
GWH, the two kind of hang over.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's always a few of those daily. I mean, I'm very excited Tim got that. Your AQMS, I'm gonna stab at that one against that double top area, just smaller sizing against like the 1870s reject there for a bigger picture play. I think I could get 4 or 5 points out of that on a fade today versus a couple point risk. So AQMS, I'm going to try that one here, smaller.
STI, I'm watching that now that you brought that up there. I'm shorting that up top, of course, for the competition. Maybe at this 2150 mark, I would go after it. But the one I really like that I'd like to trade is back up at this kind of pre-market high 25, 26 area would be really nice. AQMS, like you talked about, yeah, look for a short there for sure.
Yeah, the hangovers, Tim, keep this in mind. Like, AQMS, I think, fits this category as well. They're plays that are boring, if you will. Like, I mean, you're typically just day 2, you shouldn't have euphoria on them. So it's just they're calmer to trade. To me, that makes them easier. I don't have to worry about some chat room jump. I mean, you have I have stops present in case you do get the high volatility on it, but oftentimes you'll get just bleeds. Yeah, the battery sector, WKEY 10's very strong there. That's in the 950s now. But yeah, yesterday the batteries and like these metals just unbelievable. I mean, just momentum. That's why you gotta just if buying high, hoping higher is not part of your not a strategy in your arsenal, just step out of the way. Out of the way, let them have it, and then revisit the next day. That's what's going to determine your success, really, is on the drawdown days. How are you reacting? I mean, knowing your reaction in the face of adversities, what's going to propel you to success. I know a lot of traders that that nothing will work, but they just keep sticking around, sizing, and then even sizing up. So you got to avoid that. Yeah, STI is real interesting here. I mean, climbing up towards the previous close.
I do like PLTR. I'm looking at large caps now, see if we can find something here. Let's see, just a thought, guys, but for someone to do a daily show, almost like calling games on ESPN, that would be interesting also. Oh, yeah, for sure. That would be good. We can have that, which you could even do like a show, like a kind of like Around the Horn or Pardon the Interruption or something like that too, where me and Kevin have topics that we talk about, like, we're a Pardon the Interruption, and then you guys have like a board. So essentially me and Kevin would be my chart, and on the right-hand side where you see me and Kevin, that would be the list of top show topics that we would roll through. So you could see the topics that we'd be talking about coming up, and of course the current topic that we're talking about. That'd be cool to do weekly or monthly. And then the other one, yeah, like we do like Around the Horn, where there'd be one guy at top asking for other traders their thought process or something. I say their thought process, whatever it might be that we ask them, so you see the 4 traders below me up top, whatever. And there's some kind of cool graphic. And then whenever I ask a trader a certain question, then boom, he pops up and it's just the 2 of us. And then, it's kind of like Around the Horn would be, that'd be cool too, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Angelo, as far as BBAI, AI play, 840 looks to be holding very well. If we look left of the chart, 840 holding well. That could be the risk guide on the long side. I personally wouldn't. I personally would have less edge here on the short. Just with this sector in general. 52-week high, of course, is 1049. So, I mean, it's 840 would be the key risk area on the long side. It did have a daily inverse head and shoulders as well. This BBAI breaking up through the 850s. But if you look at the last 5 days, it's like chop haven, or not. I mean, it's just not chop, but extreme volatility swings, rather. Like 880 down to 670, straight back up here. But yeah, it held the 840 perfect this morning. Yeah, I think. I think we're on the same idea there. Okay.
Slow movers are good, though. I mean, like I said, there's a lot of traders out there that do one-on-ones, and they, especially after the market we've been in and how many volatile fast movers we have, it's hard for a lot of newer traders to trade those. So it's good to have the slow BBAIs of the world that aren't going to wreck your face, or the SSKNs of the world, or MNTSs of the world that Jay Angelo's attacking.
Yeah. GWAV is interesting here. It's at an interesting level, traders. There's certainly range on this ticker too. And why does range matter? Range is the range is where the money's made. Abnormal volume creates abnormal range, and that's where we make money. So it's teetering right here on the open, and it looks heavy. I mean, we see the volume peaked. We went over this in yesterday's video, looking for criteria. Josh and I did on our small cap episode. But yeah, the volume's key. Like where are most traders? Where's the liquidity move at? 24. So yeah, it's tempting. GWAV, this is up. Previous close 850, up towards 18 even right now. We're 6 points off the high, but still 10 off the close. It just feels like a heavy day. But here's the trend on GWAV. If still respecting this trend line.
Right, yeah, that little uptrend channel right through there, yeah. Let me get rid of WQ. WQ's dying off there in volume. It's dead. GWAV still has that pop, the chance to pop back on up to that 22 area would be a nice, good short potential. It may not even get back through 2020 would be good. So got to keep around that. AQMS here it comes popping back up. Yeah, I like a little bit more of a faster move. This one's kind of that it popped up, but now it's building that second candle right here. So I'd be a little worrisome. See, I like a nice, quick, full 3-minute candle into this area. Now, if you want to go for it, go ahead. But the third touch breakout, I'd be a little worried right there. Love that last look at it. And then again here, if you want to take this, in my opinion, with that third touch move up, you'd have to go smaller. Don't attack it with such good size and go. You just stab at it with smaller size.
Yeah, I'm not a huge I wanted it to be heavy against that, so I'm not a huge fan of it right here. I'm gonna monitor. I'm gonna stop over this high, the second high that I just put in. If it gets up over there.
But this definitely has another rejection written all over it for sure, though. This play, the chart setup reeks of traders looking at that. It will not hold its gains. It just won't. I'm really hoping I was hoping LAC gets up a little bit higher there. It got to 1915. I don't know that we're going to get to 915. I was hoping 950 would get hit. Looking for that short up top, speaking of shorting at the top. So STI actually, too, for a long, I wouldn't mind this play. If this gets going a little bit stronger, I know over 2150, a lot more volume will start pouring in. That's kind of a liquidation zone. We'll see if that pops up and gets over that. Until then, I'm going to leave it alone. But I love that over 2150 for a squeeze and potential then, of course, bounce off of 2150. There will be a play, in my opinion, today that does catch a little bit of fire. Not a lot of fire, but after yesterday and STI. Could be STI again. But I do feel yesterday after STI, all the plays we had ELBM, a lot of momentum yesterday, a lot of volume yesterday. We get some play today to hold.
Yeah, I'd imagine so. STI surprising. I mean, we have what is it, 1850, fairly clear AQMS right now rejecting on that third test.
Right, yeah.
A little bit. Still wasn't a huge fan of it popping up back up on the third attempt. You start attempting 3, 4, 5, 6 times. You knock on the door. Eventually, you're going to get through it. So, STI, yeah, that 18. It's got like a clear 1850 level on the inverse head and shoulders to risk off of on the long side. I just can't imagine this thing. I mean, I can pretty much seen it all, but reclaiming yesterday's like 24, 5, 6 level.
Yeah. Oh, I've seen it before. Yeah, where you think,
I've certainly seen it. Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
it's happened for sure. Not a ton.
Yeah, you start getting over convicted on either side of the coin, and then that's when disaster strikes. As evidenced by GameStop and some of these plays this summer, like even what was it, SPRB it's still holding in the 160s. This ticker went from a few dollars up to 240 and still holding
QMs
up.
until it got T12. QMs was doing it. I know it got T12, but QMs was doing it too.
Right.
So it was kind of crazy to see those plays actually not just die back on off, and I'm sure a lot of that had a lot to do with how we've stayed so hot. Those plays are just, instead of dying off with a lot of traders, typically is what you do see, didn't die off. And so continues the momentum. Traders like to see that, at least when we want to see strong strength. We don't want to see plays just dump. And then of course that just the volume momentum, the traders that were wanting longs are going to move away. Honestly, they want to see the spikes. They want to see plays hold up. When they see that, then they continue to come in. Goes even back to me like GameStop. I don't know why that play.
SSKN. Guys, what I say, I felt like a chat room could come in and pop that up. It's double topping up there towards pre-market resistance in the high of day 260. SSKN, kind of a creepy little crawler. 220 was holding up, basing out, going sideways, and then some buyers stepped in. So SSKN, I mean, it could turn into something. I mean, I know Josh was saying there's probably going to be some volumes on something somewhere, right? Because of yesterday. I mean, you got bulls lurking out there.
The bulls, they want it to go. They want to go. They want to go.
Man, the GWAV. Here, I'm going to show that chart again. GWAV, it's tempting. I hate feeling like I'm chasing these, especially when it's got a nice trend where it might bounce off of that, but the volume has just died here, and we're up a lot. This is one of those plays similar to AQMS. I could see it just trickling out, dribbling out almost, and fading. WKEY working. WKey, $10 held up there really well. A little spready on it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That low volume happens all the time when you get those low volume plays that kind of die off. Then you get that spread to get, hey, I want to buy here. Well, I want to sell here. And then, you'd create that little bit of a choppier, wickier, rangier chart, which right now it's still staying in a little bit of a wedge, but I don't like when volume dies off of plays like that.
Here's SSKN that's now holding VWAP.
Yep.
I'm probably avoiding this one, but this is where some volume's coming in.
A lot different than yesterday, honestly, a lot different day than yesterday.
260 is some resistance. Skin company. Yes, the skin company.
Yeah, it just sounds like it's got to be a skin company.
Yeah.
Just to let her know the ticker.
Mm-hmm. But these can be highly profitable days, again, working the backside plays. I mean, it's kind of slow, but it's good to be in some of the slow, if they're paying us out.
And they did a good job there with Fred with the entry at 9. Slow and steady is LAC, so nothing big banger type of, you're going to get $1 plus out of it. But 30 cents, 50 cents, you can expect that on LAC for the short side. Yeah,
AQMS, good work there, Tim. My entry's not so as good as yours, so you let it come to you. Good work. 17 near 18. Yeah, we need it to stay heavy though against those levels. Here's kind of a trend that is working right now. We just want it to crack back under the lows and bleed out. I'm not going to give it a ton of room. Like if that one wants to start reclaiming highs, I'll probably be done with it. I want that one to dribble out. Man, imagine this thing in the after hours AQMS yesterday. Oh my gosh. See, this is like, I have some guys, Josh, in my room that like they only trade pre-market after hours, and they're funded, they're getting payouts. They do so well with it, but like I don't do so well with pre-market after hours. I tend to try to avoid some of these because, dude, like I mean, if you could just apply the risk, oh, that's right. You just risk manage these well. But sometimes because the nature of these setups, like with actually guys with TTP, I got a guy who he sets his stops in after hours pre-market with TTP, and they work if you use stop limits. But most places stops are not going to work, and that's why you have more of these straight up, straight down moves. Because of that, James, been a rough week.
It's the start of a week. It's just started though. You can't get down too fast, too much early on in the week. You know, you don't want to put yourself in too big of a hole and then have that feeling of you always got to dig out of that.
Yeah, when you start the day red, you can't help but the psychology of that can weigh on you. Yeah, yep.
Watching still SDI, watching for that squeeze potential here back over this 2090 mark. Again, 2150, where a lot of more liquidation is going to come in for this pop back up to this 2350, 24 area. So we can look for a breakout and bounce play at that moment. Right now, just sitting in the trend. Also watching Google and PLTR for potential longs here. So PLTR and Google, really nice, good plays today. Beautiful chart setups. Looking for both of those potentially for longs. Out to the right now, but nothing I'm saying we got to take a trade on, but I'm just eyeing those. So just so you know, there will be a potential possibility for a trade on Google and PLTR. Not a big fan of SSK and have it on watch here. Had that beautiful downtrend channel. Then we had the downtrend break back to the VWAP. Like Kevin was talking about, there's that big volume candle coming in there. Could have been chat, breaded pump, whatever. Who knows? Regardless, there is your sweep of volume. And are we going to hold the VWAP is going to be the key. And there's a lot of big movement from it either. So, just chopping around from, 235 to 245, it looks like, just in this nice little tight channel. But would like to see STI here get the squeeze up and get the potential move. That is my favorite play. Other than AQMS, a lot of reversals here going on AQMS. I would like this on the next move up. Somewhere just over 20. You see 20 to 2050 resistance even into 21. I don't quite think we'd hit 22 on the first move up. So stabbing at that as soon as we see anything over 20 would be good. And again, just however many upper shadows you see, it may not get there. It may fail at 1885, 1875. It may fail here somewhere in the mid-19s. It may not get all the way into the 20s, but I do like how many upper shadows we do see in the 20s. So would stab at that up top if we do kind of squeeze. We can see we're in a really, really, really tight flag. If we zoom in right there, downtrend, trend line up, this is getting tighter and tighter and tighter. As I used to say, there would be a sneeze or a squeeze coming up soon, Mr. Kevin.
Yeah, I'd prefer the sneeze on this, but I'm falling out of love with it. Tim, I hope the Olive Garden is in your foreseeable future with this under 16. But yeah, it could get another little pop here. Well, my stop's going to be right around the 1860s on it. Personally, Josh is letting it come to him, and he's being disciplined and patient with that. So that's
good short there.
That's the right idea.
LAC here for Mr. Fred Austin Trader there. I went a little bit higher. There's your reversal, Fred. I'm glad you got a part of that, Mr. Fred Austin Trader. That was why it was on my radar. I knew there would be a good reversal up top. So take some profit here as it's coming on down, Fred.
Yeah, JW, it's the hangover list is very easy to gather. I don't need the fastest scanner. Honestly, you don't have to pay for a premium scanner really at all for it, because I want to be. You're late to the party, right? And I'm fine with that. I don't need to be early. That's the beauty of these shorts. I don't need to predict where volume's going to go and try to be first. That's difficult. Like when I was long in everything, when I first started trading, that was a challenge for me. I'm like, I'm trying to find these plays and be there before the party gets started. Essentially, I'm late to the party now, and it pays out. So just at the end of the day or in the morning, just reviewing all the hot plays from the last few days and going over levels, identifying your risk, reward levels, and mapping it out, getting started, and setting your stops. I mean, I set hard stops. That's how I trade them. And not everybody agrees with that, but just for me, you do what works for you. I mean, that works for me because there may be like this morning multiple hangovers, and if one gets some random squeeze on it, I want to be focused on the sum, not one of those. Anyways, I want to have hard stops and be trading 3 or 4 of them. Because if you get the GWH like this morning, oh my gosh, dude, the one I didn't take, the halt down and just continuation lower, 1070. That that thing points.
Gotta love when those come in. You can turn the base hits into doubles and triples at that point.
Yeah, it's the beauty of it. I mean, you just trade your edge and never really just over leverage any ticker. Over leveraging, I know, is a relevant conversation right now with the crypto space. Yeah, don't over leverage anything. Just trade your edge systematically, and you're going to get lucky from time to time. And the NOS QMM trade will forever be ingrained in my memory because I mean that was just an amazing trade. That was awesome.
Yep.
He took his edge, and that play went up to 300 from 8. His entry.
Quick reversal there from Skin too on the way down. So Skin right on back down. So almost as fast as it went up, there's that quick volatile candle right back on down out of nowhere and big sell off. So waiting for SDI. I do like that setup there, staircasing up. Would love to see the squeeze. I almost want to go in anticipation of that pop, but again, you never know when you're almost really doing a hoping type strategy that it does. Just you hope that it squeeze. It has a setup. My intuition feels that it does squeeze, but I'd rather just, again, watch it squeeze. I see the upper VWAP band going on up, as you can see here on STI. I love this look on STI as that upper VWAP band starting to take shape and move up. We're just waiting for that squeeze and pop up, and as soon as it does, then I'm looking to take a bounce play back off of this fail area. And see, that's exactly why I didn't go long, because you never know when traders give up on that long that are in it already. They're scared. Then what happens? They sell because they've been in that play. They're waiting for it to squeeze, and it doesn't. So what do a lot of newer traders do? I'll take it. I'm up. Sure. And then boom, all that selling pressure comes in at once. And there you go. So I'm waiting for this to squeeze over this mark up into the 23s, then for the bounce play back on top of it. You've seen bounce plays work on the way up. We pop up, we bounce. We pop up, we bounce. We pop up, we bounce. So I'm looking for another pop up and then a bounce off a true fail resistance area.
Yeah, I love your discipline. I mean, you're very, and you say it all the time to your guys. Patience pays, PAY. Yep. Come on, AQMS, come to Papa. Tim, I really want to join you over there.
I thought Robinhood. Hold on, James. I thought Robinhood was switching though to let you short broke. I thought I could.
I saw that email too. Yeah.
But yeah, Robinhood does not let you short stock. So James, are they not changing? I thought for some reason they were changing to where.
Go to they were. CPro with CMEG, I mean, they have no platform fee now. They just took that off. And so you just have, you only have to pay to locate, but you can short pretty much anything over there. And of course, trade the pull. I mean, that's the reason I have fallen in love so heavily with trade the pull is the shorts. I mean, not having to locate, essentially, just pulling up any ticker and pressing sell. That's my love language.
Yeah, not yet. Gotcha. Not yet. Gotcha. Yeah. Let's see where could it be before we gotcha. Oh, yeah, gotcha. It has to. Gotcha.
Josh, we're gonna be in the lazy river tomorrow night. Can you believe it?
Hey, I'm ready for it, brother. I'm ready for it.
It's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be a good time. I still don't know what we're doing tomorrow night. Gil, you in here watching? What are we doing? Are we having karaoke night?
Yeah, that's right. I've been asking. I was just waiting until we get there, but yeah, I was like, what are we? Because I know we have the team meeting. Tomorrow. So yeah, I know that'll probably be addressed on everything. But yeah, I'm like, where are we going? Where are we going out to eat? Because then I know Michael talked about a vegan dinner. I'm like, oh, I gotta have some meat. Come on now. What are you talking about?
Get that beyond meat.
Yeah, exactly.
USDA vegan meat.
Yeah, I can't wait, my man. Can't wait. Ready to get out there. Good flight times for me, too. Not too early, which I hate super early flights. And then good arrival time. Kind of like that. Get out around like 8 o'clock locally. Get somewhere around, 1 to 2. So it's still nice and light out and got plenty of time to enjoy. Because that's actually my first goal when I get there. If I get there in plenty of time, which I hope. I think it is 2:30 locally. But, oh, man, yeah, I want to get there, check in, and just go straight down, to the lazy river. And just like, all right, time to chill for about an hour and enjoy this before because then it will kind of get to nonstop, I would imagine, where we're having fun and then doing stuff and anyway. So it'll be busy. It'll be busy.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time. I hope to see everybody in chat. I know everybody can't make it, but I hope to see everybody. It's going to be a blast. AQMS did crack this trend, Tim, so the Olive Garden is looking like it's going to be in your future soon.
Oh, yeah.
Frost.
I think they got the all-you-can-eat and whatever, the endless pasta bowls or whatever they got going on. Because Avery, my wife, saw a commercial the other day, and she was like, oh, Man, I could really use one of those right now.
It
Yeah.
does damage. It does. Like every time I go there or the Roadhouse, it does too much damage. SSK.
Here's what does all the damage. It's all the bread and the dough you're eating from the roll that Texas
I
Road.
know. But by the time I'm done eating all the rolls, I'm like, I'm just gonna have to take the check and go. Which there isn't. I haven't paid for anything.
Yeah.
Got my water and rolls. SSKN heavy under the VWAP.
All I need is endless salad, baby. Salad and breadsticks, and I am set.
GWAV cracked under its trend. Guys, these could be good faders throughout the day. I just really would watch some of these. GWAV, what I mean, this is very heavy. 18 could be the risk, and see that. I mean, I may stab at it. I'm just stubborn. I'm stubborn. I don't get the entry I want. Could be that 1850s, fairly tight for a continual fade down. Outside of that, yeah, SSKN rejected 250. We'll see what that's going to do around 220s.
Slower, choppier movement right now. What we compared to what we got yesterday, like I said, literally not as pretty today, and again a little bit slower overall action. You're not getting the like when I'm looking at these plays, they're kind of stuck in the channels that they're in right now. They're not really getting outside of it. The only one would be STI, and it's still slow and steady at getting out of it. So it's slim pickings for me right now. What I like to look for in my trades for sure.
Yeah, and at a certain point, you got to just know when to A, either walk, or B, just wait,
Right.
or size down.
Because I got to see the setups. Got to see the setups that I like to trade. Then I attack. STI is the only one I like, but it's still kind of just slow. The volume's coming in, but it's not really getting that pop I want up to 23s plus. And so it's just one of those things right now where I'm just not seeing what I like, unfortunately. Oh, getting a haircut here in just a few, my man. So I'll have to get out, probably step out a tad early today.
Yeah, you good, man.
I got it because I didn't think because I thought they were going to be in Orlando or Toronto still. So when I set the haircut appointment up last week, I just didn't think they would be going live. I didn't think we'd be going live today. I should have asked to begin with, but yeah, I thought we'd be. So I had that set up. It's right at the top of the next hour. So it's an hour from now. It's only about 10, 15 minutes for me. So I got a good another 45 minutes in me with the stream, but yeah. Gotta get a haircut. Gotta get the haircut, look all pretty for Orlando,
Yeah, DJ and James gonna just step away. You got your 4 or 5Q on the day, 5Q, good, and just gonna walk. Yeah, listen to the metrics. I like it.
All we need is Texas de Brazil. I got to go Fogo there, J. Angelo. Fogo for sure any day of the week over Texas de Brazil. No offense, but Fogo's where it's at. Texas de Brazil is a wannabe. Come on now. Then they listen, Texas. Texas. I can't stand Texas people. I lived in Texas for a while too. They just think they're just the sniz down there, and they're not. Okay, you're just as good as people in Oklahoma or Kansas. Fogo to show, Fogo's it. Fogo's it. Fogo's where it's at, baby. But
Don't get me hungry.
But where are the costumes at, Fogo? Costumes? What costumes? Why don't you get a haircut live? Ooh, we could get a haircut live. Should have Kayla come cut my hair live. Live on the air. She's a quick cut. He's a quick cut. Good job, James. Yeah, cut it, man. Yeah. Oh, yeah. To me, any day. I mean, most days, James. Honestly, I'm done by now. I mean, most days at this point, I like to stick around with you guys and look for certain setups and what I would be looking for this time of the day. But yeah, it's got to be perfect, precise at this point in the day. I'm already that way as a trader where I got to see exactly what I want to trade, and then if I don't see it, then I'm not trading it. And then especially when we get to that, like I always call this pre-lunch. Between 11 and noon Eastern time. I call this pre-lunch, where you start getting a little bit less volume, usually most of the time, unless it's like yesterday where you get stronger volatile movement, where you're getting strong setups. Today, you're not getting that at all. It's a little bit lighter volume. And again, too, like I talked about, we have a lot of small caps from SSK, MNZ, PA. You're looking at all these different tickers, it's going to spread the mob all over the place. It's going to spread it. Let's spread it. Emmanuel Terrio experience with Fogo. Oh, it sucks. I worked at Fogo. Beautiful restaurant. I mean, that could be anywhere. It's funny. Like, I'm not that kind of a person that has a bad experience and never goes back to a restaurant. I mean, I'm like, I'll go back, because what usually has happened is it's because I worked at restaurants. I've between waiting tables and cooking, yada, 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 what's going to happen is it's not the restaurant's fault. It's the human error fault that you've dealt with there. I guarantee you, Manuel. Was not anything to deal with the food, I'd bet. I stopped eating at places where the waiters wear costumes. JW, where do they wear costumes at? That's not costumes. That's not a costume. I think of a costume I think of a costume as I thought he meant like Halloween because Halloween's coming up.
AQMS. I'll throw in the towel there for now, but it might be giving you an entry up here.
Yeah, the green and the red. Got to watch out for those cards.
SSK and bleeding now. SSK and bleeding.
Everyone loves some Buckies. Man, see, I wanted PLTR. PLTR and Google are running hand in hand today. I wanted to go long there. They're just squeezing a new high of day. Your two longs and large caps today are PLTR and Google. They're beautiful setups. We are getting some bullish movement also across the board as I'm looking at that. But to me, the better setups here are going to be for large cap plays. You're going to be PLTR and Google. SPY's hitting new high of day, so we are finally getting that bullish sentiment across the board. Back on up today. So SPY already too, which is crazy to see. Big movement. Here goes that AQMS pop. So hopefully you guys maybe took some profit there and or got out of the short. My level, like I talked about, team, it's not quite there, but I like this at 2050 to 21, 2050 to 21, 2050 to 21, and I'm going to stab at AQMS for a short. Again, may not get there, may only go to like 1950s area or so. We're seeing a lot of upper shadows anywhere over 19, starting at 19 and onward. Starting at 19 and onward. Tim, are you still in that? Did you take some profit there? Hopefully you did. You still could have gotten some Burger King rallies, you could have got some McDonald's. Buckies, take the photos. Yeah, people love some Buckies. I'm not a big Buckies guy, but that's what I'm saying. I need to start leg lighters. I'm telling you, Kevin. Where's Frank at? Where's old Francis leg lighter? We need to start leg lighters and rival Buckies. I will demolish Buckies. Let me tell you something right now. We're going to put a shooting range at leg lighters, okay? Not only are we going to have a shooting range, we're going to have half-off lighters on Saturday, like I talked about. And on top of half-price lighters on Saturday, some leg lighters, depending on the region, may have a bowling alley, could have a skating rink, as a daycare for your kids. Listen, we're going to kill Buckies. Buckies schmuckies. What's funny, no lie, real quickly. When we were in Texas, everyone in Texas loved Buckies. Well, Avery had a friend visit from Colorado, and they were heading to Houston to go see the Denver Broncos play, Houston Texans, and they said on the way, they're gonna stop at Buckies. It's like the thing to do, and so we brought that up. But we heard the people behind us, or we said something. The people behind us heard my wife Avery, but we were like, oh, you got to stop there. But we're like, oh, it's so overrated. People just love it. It's just like a mall gas station. I mean, it's cool, but people just are obsessed with it. The people behind us chipped in, and they're, the good old Southern, Texan. What are you talking? And you could tell he'd had a few too many drinks. And oh man, my Avery had a couple too many drinks. And boy, it was next thing. It was like we found out in a hurry. If you're in Texas, don't talk bad about Buckies. So if you're in Texas, don't talk bad about Buckies. People love it. Absolutely love it. I'm waiting for 2050s, 21 area here. Let's see if we get one more pop up here for AQMS. When it's really, and that's why I like this 3-minute time frame. This is going to be the make or break candle. We're either going to get that reversal back on down into the 18s, and then that reversal is the 1950 area, or we're going to get that squeeze up into the 20s. So I have my trigger hand ready. SCI, unfortunately, just this inconsistent volume. You can see here, team. Volume dies. Volume dies. Volume dies. Volume dies. Volume dies. Volume dies.
What does volume do?
Yeah, it's what's hurting this, and you're not getting good pops up here. We are getting old resistance equals new support here at 2075. I can see that. It's just not the area I wanted to take the bounce play, but that is working for a good bounce right now, already up $1. And there's that 3-minute candle. Now we're getting red beside it. I would imagine here comes the reversal back down for AQMS. Still want that $20, $50, $21 area. This just has fail again, written over it over and over and over and over. We've seen that again. What have you done for me recently? I'm always talking about that team. If you're seeing this a lot in pre-market, fail, all these upper shadow tails, wicks, whatever you want to call them, you're going to get more of that in market. So just continue to keep your eye on that. That's why Kevin, even Tim, are looking to short this at highs as well as myself.
Yeah, SSKN's heavy now under 220, guys. You could lower the risk there. 250 is going to be a lot for that to reclaim. So even like the 230s, but it's kind of chasey-ish here. You could look for that on a pop. AQMS certainly in play. I took it off on the short side, but yeah, right back up towards like 20 to 21. It looks very good. That STI, God, STI has. Let me pull up the chart there. This thing has reclaimed. It's right at previous close. So these are levels I do like. On the short side, right around 22.
Right.
And of
Yeah, that's why
course,
I was hesitant to go long until it squeezed through that area and let me know we were bullish. And so that's why, yeah, you're right. I mean, it's kind of saying, hey, this could be the turnover area where we get heavy and start kind of making that like Archie type look and start fading back to the VWAP.
the one I didn't take, GWAV, is working out, cracking that trend of 17. I still like that one. I think it could bleed throughout the day. GWAV. I was wanting that same theory on AQMS. So once that invalidates, of course, I take it off. Otherwise, that's gambling, right? You know, that's the whole idea. If your theory invalidates, take it off. Otherwise, you don't. You're going against your plan, adjusting it mid trade. That is called gambling. So yeah, right now STI. SSKN maybe has some more room to fade, 230-ish risk. GWAV certainly does, but it feels chasey right now. And outside of that, just kicking back.
Like I said, just a little bit choppier, kind of up and down movement. Nothing too clean cut for me today as far as I was seeing compared to yesterday. I don't like the action as much as I saw yesterday. James here, so the trading view with Alpaca, is that better idea than Robinhood? I'd have never used Robinhood's charting. I've seen trading view. If you're talking about charting, James, yeah, I would. Some of the best charting out there for sure would be that. Trading view is one of them that I know a lot of traders use. I love it, love it, love it. Been around for a while. Of course, I love Thinkorswim. Webull has good charting. Those are both also free where you can trade. So you just got to find what fits your eyes. Some people trade ideas. A lot of people like trade ideas charting. Of course, you got to pay for that and the service for it, but you've got to find what charting service you like and what fits your eye. You've got to be able to go to it, see it, be able to break it down.
Yeah, don't go into it thinking, how is this going to tailor towards my trading style? Not,
Right.
I need the scanner that's going to provide me the holy grail, you know?
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah. And that's why I mean, like earlier with J-Dubs asking about that on your scanner, like, no, that's what you have to do anyway. You don't want to be lazy and have something, in my opinion, do at first. You don't want to be lazy and because you need to do stuff. You need to do your own due diligence. You know, Michael got to the way in as I call him, Mr. Bot, because he put so many years in and now he knows what to tell the bot to do. Right. You need to do the due diligence at first. Like you need to be watching tickers throughout the day and what's popping. B, other than what's popping throughout the day, you need to be paying attention at the end of the day and go back through those tickers. Like I always talked about, go back and chart at the end of the day. Well, if you do that, then you already have an idea of what you should be looking at.
AQMS alert. I think it's halting up. AQMS alert.
I'm not even looking at that play.
Sorry.
Woo, squeezing. But yeah, so just go through every day at the end of the day and have, like, I love Thinkorswim because it remembers the tickers. Of course, I usually have 4 tickers or more, but if you close out Thinkorswim, whatever tickers are on your board right there will pop back up tomorrow and populate again. So yeah, I'm just always, the longer I've done this, I just always, and I still do it, you know, just every day at the end of the day, I just like going back through and getting remembering what popped yesterday, and because there's always a chance for a good setup there for the next day for sure.
Yeah, I use Thinkorswim as well. They have the gainers on there, so that's something I flip through. All my scanner settings are on my YouTube channel, guys. You guys can just search on my channel Thinkorswim, and you'll find that where I can find these hangovers. I have a scanner that I've created on there for overbought stocks, so I flip through those and. Again, I don't have to find them that second. I find I revisit. I do the homework the night before and early in the morning. Additionally, like momentum scanners, like there's even Momo Screener. It's a free one. It's a website, Momo Screener. It's real data, real time, and of course, Trade the Pool is partnered with Trade ID as well. You can utilize. So there's a lot of options out there. STI at highs on the day. Unbelievable. JDZG, good work. I mean, anybody still working a slow bleeding short? Just kicking back with that one.
I'm going to see where this opens up AQMS there. I am going to look at that as soon as it goes live for a quick reversal at 22. See, I got the deviation channel band right at 22.35 for my risk. So I'm going to look to short AQMS here at that high. at 22. I say at high, but at that pre-market really double top resistance that we see from earlier in pre-market, right here at this $22 mark. Then again, I have that deviation channel there at 22.35 for my stop loss, and challenge that for the risk level. So we'll see where this opens up, but I will be looking to get filled there up top here at the 22.80 or 21.80 $22 mark or so.
This is why we have stops, guys. It's how I've been able to grow the account. You have visit my channel. I just came out yesterday with a video on, just taking the first little payout on the funded. And what's been working for me is staying disciplined with the rules and allowing the winners to work. I mean, it's not rocket science, really. It's if you ask the CEO of a lot of these brokers or even trade the pool, like where do traders struggle the most, is always comes down to not letting the winners run and letting the losers run, really. Cutting the winners too quickly and letting the losers run, or fighting. Never fight these tickers. Never think on singular trades. But that's experience. It takes a while to know and your edge and know the good setups, and then know how to size them appropriately, and take some time. AQMS, we'll see where that one's going to open up. And then STI, I mean, it's got my interest. But the problem with STI for me is it's stair-stepping. If you notice with AQMS, it, like earlier, you go straight up, you go straight down. It's like it's the euphoria meets capitulation right thereafter. STI is it's just like a slow, healthy stair step up. If that gets euphoric up towards 23.4, I'm interested in it, but I don't want to be, fighting these either,
Oh, come on. You don't want to do a little kung fu fighting.
Stepping in front of them. No. Stepping in front of these. Ooh.
Oh, gosh.
Shorts got some shorts fighting these plays yesterday.
Yeah, you had to be all over it yesterday for sure. With the A in and out if you could, and then B, either which I picked ELBM as the one that which ended up being a great reversal, kind of over and over and over. But yeah, it's just gotta. Yeah, I mean, if you're not on the right ticker, right area, then the one when it's a bullish play in day, again, that's where you always have to be careful shorting the top because of that sort of, stop has got to be tight. And if it's not tight, can continue to go. And you see the bullish movement, like you were talking about the plays from yesterday, and then they just get blown up. Because a lot of the time, what a lot of traders don't have a stop. If they don't have a stop, then what do? They just decide for whatever reason, to hold and hope. So this is going to be it. And they add in maybe possibly a lot of the time. And this is going to be the top. No, this is going to be the top. Okay, now, no, this is going to be the top. And they just keep doing that over and over. Wrong. Got to get out.
It's a story that prevails. It's most traders' journey. It has that in it.
Yeah. Halted up at 13.11. Let's see if this goes live here. AQMS.
Angela, I don't know if you can do that alone. I might have to join you. Let me see. This thing's. Man, she has stair-stepped up all the way back up into the 23s. This is nuts.
Who's that?
Just STI.
Oh, STI. Yeah, STI.
This thing's going to give me an STI.
You're good. Just got filled there. 300 shares at 21.89. So 21.89 is my entry price there. 21.89 for AQMS. Needs to get back down to that halt up area. That's the thing. It did get a good size gap up. And this is the huge candle here for me in the 1 minute time frame about where we close at here, which we're about to close. Back on down below 21.50 is going to be the key here for the short. Back above, and my stop loss is going to be perfect at 22.50 would be that area for AQMS to get that move back on down. So 21.50 is going to be key for me, back under 21.50. Now back over 22.50 here, or 22.35 is where my stop loss is at. So now it's hitting my stop loss area. It's failing at it. So if it gets back over 22.50 here, I'm going to call it for a day, or call it for the move right here. So here we go. Starting to move back on up over. It's failing at it still. I'm waiting for candlestick confirmation above it, or we get that clear cut move. Still in this play. Still in this play for candlestick confirmation. Still in this play. See if we get the reversal back on down here, because I'm only in 300 shares. Got to give this a little bit of room to breathe here. It's all over the place right now. 22.35 candlestick confirmation above and I'm out. Below 21.50 was where we get the reversal back on down. I can see that now. It's clear cut. It's all over the place. But again, this is why I'm only stabbing at this 300 shares up top versus, trying to go in big like if it's, the competition. Oh my gosh, never do that. There we go. There's our move back on down. Now we're looking pretty good here. Now if we can stay below 21.50, we're looking really good. So let's see if we can stay below 21.50. Could have taken some profit there as it crashed back on down real hard. I'm going to stay in this to see if we don't get more continuation. The halt up price is going to be key right there and staying below 21.50 in this candlestick. Not getting it though. Let's see, this candle still has on the 1 minute time frame quite a bit of time to confirm. So watching this here, if we get below, again, stay below 21.50 is key. Below the halt price is even better here if we can stay below the halt price. Come on down below. I would say if we get below, there we go, 20.50. If we can get below 20.50, this play really starts to pay out. I'm going to start scaling out of this play just a little bit right now. Let's see. We can start scaling out of this. There we go. Start scaling out of that a little bit right there. We go. Start scaling out of that play a little bit better. All right. There we go. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad right there. All right. Here she comes down a little bit more. If we can get below 20.50, then we're really working. Again, that deviation channel up top was really helping me out. As you can see there, team, that 22.40 mark. If we stay below 20.50 is going to be the key now. Hopefully you guys made a little profit there with me up top and stayed in that trade, kind of walking you through it. And the 1 minute time frame to the right, 3 minute to the left, so I can watch the two. 20.50 is now the key. Below 20.50, this play will get some more continuation on down. Should see 19.15. Really run into this 15, I say on the 50. So $1 increments, 21.50, 20.50, 19.50 would be the next key. If this gets back above the halt up price, I'll just cut it. So if this gets back above the halt up price where we halted up at just a little bit ago, which was, team. Let's get zooming in here. Right there, back above 21.15 would be the stop price. Back below 20.50, we do get a good continuation on down. Let's see if we get below 20.50 here. Just walking through this play. Candlestick confirmation on exit too here, unless we get back above 21.50. 21.50 for me will be like the end all be all for this setup. And just what I call the point of no return, where I have to get out of that play. That short will not work out anymore. And just so I leave in the green. Won't stick to candlestick confirmation at that point. Have my hand on the trigger, 150 shares, already out of 150 shares. Still staying in this play right now. As long as we stay below the halt up price with candlestick confirmation, we are good to go here. You can see it kind of still failing here at this halt up price here at 21.15. It's key right now in this 1 minute candlestick confirm. If we close here, which we have about 12 seconds left in this candle. Sorry to be long-winded, Kevin. I'm just walking through this trade.
I'm having fun. Just you doing your thing, man. This is great. This is great.
Here we go. Come on, baby. Come on down. Come on down some more here. If you want to take a little more profit, if you're in this, that's fine. I want below 20. I feel we're going to get it here. If we get anything below 20 at 19s, I'm going to go ahead and just take this. Last 150 shares. There is a big, here it comes. Here it comes. Here it comes. Come on.
Dude,
so close.
Even leaving like 50 on for the day, dude, could be way profitable after that liquidation move. If that's going to be the top right there, yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and take some right here because I'm not liking this lower shadow forming on the 1 minute. So I'm just going to take some, still in the green quite a bit, and doing what Kevin's saying. I'm just going to save 50 shares here. So I'm down to 50 shares, team. See if we can get that move back down into the teens. So, and there you go, just kind of walking you through a trade, what I'm looking for. Find a resistance area, find a stop loss area. Stick with candlestick confirmation, and here she comes on down. There she finds the teen. So there you go. This is how walking through a trade. Walking through a trade, wait for candlestick confirmation. Usually what I do is wait for an upper shadow to form. That ends up being what I call the end of no return, the point of no return. So a candlestick confirmation above the deviation line in a 1 minute candle, I'm out, or above 23, I have to stop out. And it's going to be over a $300 loss at that point with 300 shares for sure. So I've got to stop out. So then I just continue to define my risk over and over and over. And the 1 minute candles usually help me define that as we kind of pop around and move around on this play. But that's it. There you go. There's a little, there you go. I was talking about ESPN, or whoever wanted the ESPN show and play-by-play. There's your play-by-play for AQMS and what I am and what my brain's thinking as I'm in that.
That was fun. That was fun. Good job. You waited for it. I mean, honestly, that's like picture perfect. I mean, you were calling for it, waited for it, took the setup, and you're letting the winner, work.
Yes.
It's just absolutely picture perfect. Smoked tuna, MCRP getting a little pop. Did your tuna alerts hit you on that one, MCRP? Yeah, that one's hitting highs right now. It looks like announced deployment. The company with Dubai Police announced official deployment of the autonomous police patrol at Global Village.
There we go. Tim still in 35 shares at 2079. Tim, hold that for sure. Stop loss should be right at your entry price at that point, Tim, because your stop loss to me, that upper shadow formed on the 3 minute time frame. If we get back above that, we're going to squeeze back on up, probably even through my stop loss area, in my opinion. So hold it for now. I don't see how we don't see the teens, but again, if we do get back above your entry area, we could see us squeeze back on up through the 21. So keep your eye on that, bub.
Yeah, leftovers, I try to be real, it's hard for me to do this, but be disciplined with just setting it and like forgetting about it. Because you revisit like leftovers with the stop at break, even like Josh is saying, it's like you're already green on the trade. But if this thing fades down back down to like $12, $11 today, dude, like 50 shares even with that, you're making tons of money. Those can be highly profitable, leaving leftovers.
Right.
Yeah, yep.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Nice little short right there. Could have been better. Wasn't the best of entries, but again, I thought at first it was. It'd pop up a little higher here, but good little short there. And that's what we've been getting. Nothing too crazy. I think that first short on AQMS would have been the best one that I saw there at the, when I first joined you guys right at around, what was that, a little over an hour ago, right about an hour ago right now, right around 10:24 Eastern time. That was a good short. Went right up to 1875, then right back on down to 1675. Got you $2 short. This one was $2 in the end, but again, was a little more jolty, but still another good, decent short right there. Again, my stop loss for me is going to be either candlestick confirm over where we halted up 21.15, or if I see anything over 20.50, I'm just going to cut it. Sticking in 50 shares, nothing big. Very literally, again, when you go up top like that, here comes, I told you to stick into that. I told you, baby boy, Timmy boy, Timmy. Here's our move into the teens. Good short right there, team, if you got any of that on AQMS. I do love more volatile, violent movers. Just got to sit back and wait for your area to hit. That's the patience with these more volatile moves. CR Trader is the best that I know, or one of the, at least around in my realm of shorting at the top. I'm not a big fan of it. But knowing that if you sit back and wait for the area and find the area, you can see how money it can be. Tim says Olive Garden, baby. Yeah. Breadsticks galore right there, letting this play out. Not bad for me, getting a little, almost went from, could have been a $300 loss. Now hitting that 2-to-1 ratio, being about almost a $600 win here. So this is nice overall for AQMS.
STI, that 24 is a interesting level now. We could risk off of. Never really got the euphoria on it, but I mean, it did hit that, like the euphoria, like Josh traded on AQMS, that straight up to resistance. Those fast moves are met with a fast rejection oftentimes.
Yep.
So STI, just going to monitor that against the 24 level.
Beautiful move right there. Yep. That's where. And hey, going back to the competition though, that's where you go in 100,000 shares. Next thing you know, you're up. You got a $200,000-$300,000 trade on your hands. That would have been yesterday. The one I've been waiting on all day long. Where I'm like, okay, I'm going in as big as I can here at this resistance area, and then then you get $2-3 on 100 plus thousand shares. You can rack up some dubs. Yeah, attack the downfall of Red Lobster. And Red Lobster's still good. I had that last year for my birthday when they were, released the whatever under the closing restaurant. So last year on my birthday, last October, just over a year ago, and had Red Lobster. I was like, I haven't had Red Lobster in forever, and haven't had it since. We very rarely ever eat out, so that's half of the issue. But that was the thing kind of to do, late 90s, early 2000s into 2010, the going out to eat and all the different restaurants from Red Lobster, Olive Garden, the Texas Roadhouse, your Buffalo Wild Wings. You can go on and on and on. Love the breadsticks, but I always worry it's not real bread like Subway. Like Subway did, yeah, right. I cannot read this comment. There we go. It's all good. Oh, Tim. Well, yeah, Tim, today's your birthday. Today's your birthday. Well, my birthday was, what was it? Saturday. So 2 days ago. Saturday. I was like, my birthday? Avery's was, no, Sunday. Avery's was Saturday. Mine was Sunday. Our anniversary is yesterday. And then next thing you know, boom, it's the 14th, and there goes the 3 days of love. The 3 days of love. What's you and your wife's anniversary?
December 19th. This it's gonna be 10 years this
Nice.
December.
Congrats. Yeah, happy birthday, Tim. Happy birthday, Tim. Tim, man, Tim first gets ELBM, then he gets some AQMS with me. Tim's got to be in heaven today. Tim is he's banking. He's got his birthday. He's got good grub coming up. It's gonna be a good day and night for Tim. Thank you, Dick. Thank you, Derek. Thank you, Derek. Just another day from me. Well, hey, Broncos got the win. Ugly win versus the Jets. Absolutely ugly win versus the Jets. We got the dub. And so after that, I was pumped up and happy. Had a great Sunday. Did some sliders, some crispy baked beans, some coleslaw, some cheese dip. Had a good old man's dinner for the birthday.
There's CR Trader. There he is. All right. Taking the AQMS. Love it. 22.48 average. Wow. That was awesome. Took 2/3 off and kicking back with leftovers. Excellent.
Yeah, he went in bigger for sure. Yeah. So the thing, when you do it a lot more, you go in bigger. That just shows you how much money you can make on these reversals. If you get the right area, it's just that's the thing. And that's why I've seen traders in the past love reversals at tops. If you're right, you can get $2-3 in a blink of an eye on these. Like you talk about these euphoric moves to high of day areas. I mean, that's the reason I made all the money yesterday for EOBM was just because there's nothing else that's moving. You're not really getting a lot of other good setups. That's the setup that's forming over and over and over. Finding crazy reversals. Getting some small staircase and stuff like STI, SKKN, but you're not going to get a lot of money from those if you're trading, especially for the challenge. I love the idea, and I wish Michael had that yesterday. And I hope they get that for the next one again, where Michael can kind of go into a certain person's. I think maybe they did it to protect the person. Maybe they can not show the name, obviously, but there were some traders that I really would have loved to see what they were trading in the competition that lost $1 million, or lost X amount of money, like or whoever was up for however much they're up.
Right.
I would love. That would be awesome to see what they're trading, why they're trading it. You're welcome there. Kevin Josh, what do you think about TMQ? Oh, this was a multi-day runner here recently, if I'm not mistaken. TMQ, right? Is this like a metals play possibly too? Yeah, metals play. Yeah. Nice good squeeze today, actually. Holding 10. Nice whole round number. We know that for small caps, being a good resistance support line. Didn't really fail at it. Went flying through it, obviously, but now trying to hold it. You'll see that sometimes where we don't fail or resist at an area, but sometimes then hold it as support. Regardless, we do have that support at 10. Under 10, watch for move down to 950. Great bounce play there into around, in my opinion, the 930 mark with the VWAP as your risk. Other than that, watch for a squeeze back over 1060 for the move up to 11 to that magic 1120 that Kevin talks about. Beautiful. Works out over and over and over.
So do you know what's going on with these morning streams when we're all in Florida?
I have not asked Gil. Yesterday, I was asking Gil because I couldn't log in because they actually put the wrong birth date, which it was the right birth date. And that's why even Gil's like, something's weird's going on here. Because I logged in to my American Airlines flight that they booked to change my seats like a few weeks ago. Then I went in yesterday just a couple of blocks, and I couldn't log in anymore. And I didn't know what was going on, but the birth date was wrong. So I had to call and figure that out and got it all situated. Anyway, I was talking with Gil yesterday, and that's actually one thing I was going to bring up was like, who's running the stream tomorrow or Thursday? And I didn't ask her. So yeah, I need to ask her that. You can message her too as well and say, hey, who's running the stream the next 2 days? Because I do not know for sure. Are they going to is it going to be like old school ESPN and whatever? They put the best of on. Someone's edited and they put the best of trade the pool over the last, or, in October. I don't know, but I have no idea.
They'll stream today's video tomorrow.
Yeah, right.
They're like, wait a second. AQMS is not moving today.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, guys, little pop on JTAI. STI, I'm curious what that's going to do up here at the 24. AQMS, even working a sloppy seconds there against 22 or so is not a bad idea.
But definitely watch the minerals plays, mineral metals, whatever, over the last few days, weeks. Those have been running. We're finally in that trend. I haven't seen a trend like this in a while, where we had, going back to certain years, we've had certain, whether it was marijuana, weed plays, or whatever. We've had those certain trends, and it does seem to happen September, October, going back to, I think it was 2018, one of the first times I do remember that. I think that was the 2018 year that the marijuana stocks were playing, THC plays were playing it. But then you go back to like shippers, when they would always run a certain time of the year. Regardless, right now, AQMS, AERC, NVA, TMQ, ELBM, GWH. These guys, even after the sell-off today from ELBM and GWH, there's going to be a rebound. There's going to be a pop again, I promise you. So keep those on watch. They definitely have been running and have been a theme for sure. Here goes another one with LAC. LAC is yet another one.
Yep, lithium play. And then TMQ metals. Yep, that one's CR Trader looking for the retest high day. Okay, at the 1129.
Let's see here, Delcor. I think I finished. You did finish in the top 10, but not sure because I don't. Not sure because I don't. If final results are in. No, yeah, final results are in. Yeah, I've already looked at that earlier. I don't think things have changed, in my opinion, since yesterday. Obviously, since I talked about this, I know, unfortunately, I talked about this yesterday at the closing bell and this morning already in my live stream. But yeah, and I just showed this earlier, as far as I'm concerned, yeah, they're done. You're in the top 10. I talked about you earlier as well. I know two people I do one-on-ones with. I actually do one-on-ones. Her name, she goes, Tamara, but she goes by Tammy. Oh, Tammy. Tammy snuck in there at the top 10, and you did as well. You're in the top 10. So two people that I've done one-on-ones with are in the top 10. And of course, and then myself over here, Larry Berry. I don't know why I did that, but for the competition, I just opened up a new account. I didn't do it under my own, but that is me, Larry Berry. It's weird too, Kevin, because I guess I got out of a play early. I have no idea what goes on, but there was a loss that I had yesterday, supposedly, because then I would log back in, and you can't look at your results. I logged back into this, and then you try to go, at least it wasn't populated this morning. I'll have to go back and look. But I had 122K. I even showed you the video, on Trade the Pool. I had 122 plus K in wins, and I had all wins. Well, then I go over here, and I'm like, how it shows, I was 2 for 3, and one of them was a loss. I'm like, I didn't show a loss. I showed you it was 120. I'm like, what? So anyway, regardless, I'll take it. It's still nice to see there. But yes, as far as I can see, so Giovanni, I'll ask them too. Gil as well. That's something that we need to ask them. When will the winners be announced and the results be released to everybody? When will they send the email out? I'm sure they're verifying everything. They have a big week, honestly, of course, going on with them being, Toronto, now heading to Orlando, from Trader TV to the Money Show. They got a lot going on this week for sure. So I'm sure it'll be something that you will find out, I would imagine, before the week's over with. I'd hope and imagine anyway.
Yeah, good job, Tammy. Number 10. Good work. Good work.
The website is accurate, cool. Yeah, I don't know, Jay Angelo. At least that is, they are working on it to get it updated. Gotcha. Well, that was at least the last one as of yesterday, and it's been that way since yesterday afternoon. At some point right around closing bell, because I know there were some traders that were up, and then they took some big losses at around the closing bell, and then we had some traders move into the top 10. So regardless, still nice to see some of the traders that did well. You can see pretty much, for the most part, what the list is going to look like, I would imagine, even when it gets updated.
Yeah, DGen James, I'll be on my stream tomorrow, but my flight's real early. Like, I'm getting in Orlando like 8 to 8:30, somewhere right in that range. So I'd be doing some pre-market analysis on the flight. It's pretty sweet. I got upgraded to first class, Josh, by doing I like request. You can actually bid for it. I put the lowest bid in, and they gave it to me. I'm like, okay, I'll take it. It was like,
which flight airlines is that?
It's a cheap one. It's a cheap one because
Okay.
I booked it. Yeah,
Nice.
Not Spirit, not the banana boat. No, it's Frontier.
Nice, dude. Yeah, Frontier's good. I like Frontier. I'll even just go over here to Trade the Pool streaming. Do we know? Just I know Angela said that, but do we know when the final results for the competition will be released, so I can get that out there? I've got to head out here. Honestly,
Yeah.
I got to get over to my haircut, so you can handle the last 15, 20 minutes here, my friend. But you guys, AQMS was nice. I went ahead and just stopped at it because I got to get out of here anyway. So I just took my profit right around the 2015 mark as it popped back up. But regardless, I'm out of that play. Good little short. I was trying to get a trade in every day when I go live with you guys with TTP. Want to get a good short in or a long, whatever it is. Just at least get a trade in every single day while I'm live with you guys. So I get to, give you something what I'm looking for, what I'm looking at, and then break it down while I'm in it, which was great today because, it was just the two of us, and Kevin kind of handed the mic off to me while I was in the AQMS trade. So it kind of broke that down, looking at the 3 minute and the 1 minute chart together there combining. We always talk about that for myself, Michael, of course, Mr. Nas, Money Mitch. Got to go through the different time frames. Can't sit here on the 1 minute. Got to go to the 3, the 5, the 15, the 4 hour, the hourly, whatever it is, the daily. You've got to go through different time frames to find support, resistance, and the more that, and to me correlate together, that I know Money Mitch talked about that yesterday, when you have the PR that lines up with this and everything lines up together. Well, that's when you have more confidence to go take that trade. Here for AQMS was one of those where you have, that A, it's been reversing, B, but, so everything lined up together to take that short up at the high of day resistance area. And that's really what's been working for the most part. Getting some staircasey plays like STI and others that are slow and steady eddies. And that's what you're getting. You're getting slow and steady breakouts and with some more volatile movement like STI yesterday or again today. LAC, here's a great example of, more of a breakout play, but you're not getting too many bounce plays. You're not getting too many bounce plays, unfortunately. So really what's happening is either you're getting the high of day reversals or you're getting the continuation momentum from the breakout. So trade those two. Those seem to be the two things that are working the best. STI, continuation breakouts. LAC, AQMS, reversals and shorts at high of day. CR Trader even talked about another one maybe on TMQ. That's what you're getting a lot of here this week. So look for that. I know I won't see you guys here on Trade the Pool the rest of this week till next Tuesday. It's been an honor the last couple of days. Look for us on the social media while we're out in Orlando. I imagine we're doing some stuff here on the YouTube page. Follow them on the YouTube page. Follow them on any of the social media from X and Instagram. We'll be updating. And then, of course, me on social media. It's Josh Smith Trades. I'll put the link out there in a second. But Josh Smith Trades, that's where you can find me at. Or, of course, you have me here on YouTube. But I put most of my stuff on social media on Instagram that folds over to Facebook. Don't do much X Twitter. Never been a X Twitter guy or TikTok. Some stuff on TikTok, but it's mostly Instagram. So Josh Smith Trades. But yep, been fun, man. Can't wait to see you, Mr. Kevin Avery, my man.
I can't wait.
74. We're going to have some fun tomorrow.
It's going to be a blast. It's going to be a blast. Hey, safe travels.
And CR Trader, so I know we've got a few in my chat. You got a few in your chat. CR Trader still trying to make it down to Orlando. Would be awesome to see as many of you guys that can make it. Would love it. Absolutely. I know Kevin, like I said, we're going to have some fun down there. So bring it. We can't wait to see you.
All right, man. Don't let him mess up your hair.
Oh yeah, no. I love my girl Kayla. She can't, it's definitely, it's all day, every day, same haircut. It's one of the things when I go and it's been the same haircut from, for years now. So it's pretty simple, my man. Pretty simple. And here is my Instagram. So go follow that. Let me see if that gets out there. Hopefully it should. There, let me put this out there for traders. Boom. Paste. Boom. There's my Instagram. So go follow me there, team, on Instagram. You'll get a lot of fun the next 3 days. Done with Kevin, Jay Angelo, all the guys that trade the pool. I'll see you guys back here next Tuesday. Kevin, I'll see you back here in a bit. I know we have the last lesson to get in today. So I will see you back here, Kevin, in about an hour. I'll give you a text whenever I'm heading back home.
Perfect. Yeah.
Later, team. See you guys next week or, of course, on social media here on Trade the Pool. Orlando, here we come, baby.
Here we go. All right, traders. Yeah, let me know what you guys are looking at. I know TMQ certainly is the 1050s holding up there as some resistance right now. We got about 15 minutes, so I'm down to party with you guys. And then tomorrow, I'm not sure entirely how the stream's going to look, but we'll keep you updated. I'm sure they will on the channel as well, so stay tuned for that. I'm going to be flying in early tomorrow, so on my channel, I'll be live Avery day trading around 9:30 with a Green Team member. We're going to be trading live together. It's going to be kind of a not the most professional setup. I'm not taking all my lights and cameras and whatnot, so but it'll be a good time. Yep. STI's got my interest up here. at getting close to yesterday's, some of that resistance from yesterday. LAC has just made a new high. Lithium battery. Some of these plays that are still, the stair-steppy nature. That's what we're getting into. There we go. I'm on the big screen now by myself. OMEX. Okay, let's pull that one up. OMEX. Pulling back a little bit off of that high, 443. Odyssey Marine Exploration. Okay. But we'll flip through some charts, make sure we're not missing anything today. But yeah, it's been a pretty decent day. I think the theme is just making sure you're not over trading. I think Josh did that very well. Taking the edge when it presents itself, but not over trading on anything, right? ELBM battery has been working out great. Tim, I'm so excited you got some of these hangovers. So excited about it. I know Josh recorded that lesson. I have hangover strategies in my description on my YouTube channel, on every video in the description, just so you guys can learn it. But those can certainly be fruitful because, again, they like, you get the ones that fade points, like GWH from 11 down to 787 right now, and then you're just tight with the stop. I mean, the stop is very tight. Like, for example, if AQMS wants to get a next leg up, it's a right or right out. Right or right out. Tim, you like that strat and feel confident. Yeah, I mean, you need to find a system that you feel confident in, because the confidence is gonna exude into the trade. Meaning, when you have confidence, you're typically going to let these plays work out to their fullest potential. This is something I've been working on and studying myself, right? It is important to be confident in a trade because of that. You're going to if you're scared in a trade, what's going to happen? That's going to cause you to just take it off early, to maybe even become hopeful in the losers. And it's going to have bad implications on your performance. So you want to find what you're confident in and what you work well. Do you think that's very important? Yeah, still going small and shotgun jumping in and out. Got it. Yeah, but I like your sizing approach. Your sizing, scaling these. And CR Trader does that very well too, where he just will break up his entry. Like maybe this ticker, like AQMS, out of the halt, may pop a point. So break it up into pieces, into that point. You might not get an entire fill, but whatever you get is going to be money, right? Whatever you get is going to be money. Yeah, the stair-steppy action's not something I think there's some wisdom in that. MCRP, that one has given everything back, the euphoria down. But yeah, so far, guys, pretty much in small. I know Josh and I both focus a lot of the same tickers, and we bounce off each other well. Focusing some of the smaller names, I've done. Has been profitable. It's been fine. It gotten funded, and we're seeing progress on the funded. GWAV, this one's still heavy under this trend, so be mindful of this. It cracked under metals play, and still heavy under that 720s 30 area. Plug power, Luis. Plug power. Plug power was at looks like its all-time low. Not too in the distant past. It's had a couple big green candlesticks relative to the average last few trading days, so it wouldn't surprise me if that were to profit take a little bit. I'd probably, on the long side, want that to hold like 320. It wouldn't surprise me if we saw a little profit taking, though. But even look at this lower wick. Guys, see the magic 20s. You guys, I go over that magic 20 all the time, and you see it evidenced on many different tickers. 20 cent here. Right down to it. Lower wick. Bounced right in and then closed above it. So maybe even this 320 doesn't look bad for plug on the, if you're looking to swing that one. AQMS that you guys were trading earlier, that's trying to hold 20 right now. Trying to hold 20 and about to retest the highs. STI over 24. QS, you got to pop there. Quantum name. Yeah, QuantumScape. Yeah, QuantumScape's got a lot. Look at all this support on it. Right at around 1620. QuantumScape. That would be the risk guide there for me on the long side. Kind of like hangover-ish from yesterday, where we have 17 resistance. A lot of consolidation. The consolidation is where a lot of the longs are in that name, so it's good. It creates a ceiling almost on it. STI took half off. 22. Oh, you wrote it on the long side. All right. I like it. Angelo, STI. Just riding the stair step up. Yeah, good work. Taking the stairs up. Yeah, good work on that. Excellent. All right. We flip through and make sure we're not missing anything. But AQMS is the leading play. GWAV. I still like that one for a fade. I may involve myself small GWAV against like 18-ish for a fade. But yeah, good work those in the competition yesterday. That was fun. It certainly scratches an itch. AQMS warming up for a push. Yeah, it is. See our trader, what you thinking here? That 20 is holding on AQMS. These metals are just relentless. A day 2 climb like this. They're warming it up, certainly. They're warming her up, AQMS. So yeah, it's right at the highs. It's not going to surprise me at all if this clears these highs right here. Testing 23 out right now. It will test 20. Yeah, it looks like it will probably do a liquidity move up and over those highs. That's where the peak volume is. Peak volume on the chart right at this 23. Yeah, so oftentimes you will see those liquidity moves because that's where people's stops are at, like high a day break essentially. So when it gets that close, oftentimes you will, at least break through it. I mean, we're tapping right there. That one's stair steppy kind of as well off of 20. Sitting right up here at the high. So there's. We're not missing anything. Not missing any action. Long, the TQs Tech, CoinFig MP. SSKN rejecting the VWAP. Yeah, I mean it's the time where either you just got to sit back and wait, traders. You got to sit back and wait, not force anything. NUAI, some of these energy plays are curling back up to the highs too. This NUAI it's at highs right now. Interesting chart. 220 held up as support on this play and back up to the highs. But guys, stay tuned on the channel because I know they're gonna be live streaming a lot this week as well to the channel. So this is gonna have a lot of fun this week, so stay tuned for that on the channel. And of course, we'll update you guys on how the stream's going to be looking the rest of the week. But yeah, 5 minutes before we close off here. Guys, any questions? Watching AQMS at the highs and then GWAV. I'm thinking about a position there for a fade throughout the day against 18, but outside of that, I'm kicking back. Waiting for the edge to present itself. That's it. What's TMQ up to? TMQ, the 1050s. Yeah, they did hold up there really well. 1050s. That one's fading. Certainly a play there. It's still in that same metals, sector. So just keep that on watch. You don't want to get over leveraged on any one sector unless you're on the right side of it. When you're right, stay right. Right? When you're wrong, don't stay wrong. But yeah, traders. Let me know if you have any questions before we wrap up here. Yeah, I would encourage you guys, though, especially some of the newer ones that are struggling to see consistent profits, to really identify your fear. I know they've done webinars. Steve has on that topic. It's very important. You got to identify your trading fear, and there's 4 of them. So determine which one is yours. And then because we all have uphill struggles. We don't want to create downhill habits for our trading. We all have those uphill struggles. It's just they're all different. They're all different. So yours may be fear of missing out, fear of leaving profits on the table. Mine are. Yeah, check the messaging. We got the top 10 winners. Okay. In the WhatsApp. Mine are fear of being wrong and fear of losing money. Those are the 2 most potent for me. So it's like I identify those, and so what can you do to help yourself out with that? And that's going to be, for me, is the leftovers, leaving leftovers, because it allows me. I have the fear of being wrong, fear of losing money. How those play out for me is when I see profits, I naturally want to take it, and then I cap the winners early often. Is it just the leaderboard here? I'll copy and paste that, Angelo. Here you go. Oh, okay. Gil just sent a new one. Oh, okay, I got it. All right, give me just a second. I'll email it over and then share that with you. Guys, the winners of the competition. We got a nice little leaderboard over here. Give me just a second. I'll share that with you. But yeah, I can ramble on trading forever. I'm sure, Angelo, we're going to be rambling on tomorrow. I mean, trading is in our blood. Nothing like it, guys. It's just no one understands us but us. So leaving leftovers helps me out as far as that goes, because I can take that fear away by taking some money. So I know I'm green on the trade regardless, and leave a leftover piece just to continually work throughout the day for me. All right, let's get these results up. This is going to be good. Yeah, no better profession. I mean, there's nothing like it. There's nothing like it. Absolutely nothing like it. All right, leaderboard. Download the leaderboard. All right, here we go, guys. The top 10. I'm about to load it up, so get ready. Stop screen share. Window. There we are. All right. There we are, traders. Drum roll. Mr. Wayne. Whoa! $720,000. Oh, my goodness. Oh, man. Congratulations. Competition winner, Mr. Wayne. Absolutely incredible. $720,000. Wow. Wayne, are you in here? Congratulations. That's a 100K eval right there. 100K eval. And that's not easy to do. Was it STI? Wayne, was it STI? 720,000. Very cool. Good job. Excellent work. It was a very good competition. This goes to show you some serious money can be made. I mean, this is one day. This was one day, yesterday. And with that kind of buying power and leverage, you gotta let the winners run. I mean, there's no way to make the top 10 here unless you're letting the winners run. So make sure you had to size heavy and let her play out. Yesterday, thankfully, was just the day for this. Yesterday was a great day for this competition. I mean, it just was the perfect day. You had those metal plays, the battery plays. It was just an incredible day. Lots of runners. I know the Trader TV, they had such a good time. That was very enjoyable to watch, and it was an excellent day for it. Really couldn't have been better. So it was a fun experience, and I'm certain we're going to be doing these competitions again. So guys, just stay tuned for it. Stay tuned for these competitions. They're a lot of fun. And congratulations to the top 10 here as you're going to be getting your evaluations. So stay disciplined with those evals. Let the winners run. Do what you did on this competition and let the winners run. Maximize those winning trades. Make sure your risk managed with the losers, and you guys will be you'll be good to go. But traders, that was a ton of fun. That was a ton of fun. Great work today. It's fun as usual to be a part of this stream. I appreciate you guys. I'm always willing to help everybody out. Always willing to help you guys out. If you email me, averydaytrading@gmail.com, always happy to help. And, of course, stay tuned for the next stream here at Trade the Pool, where we're going to keep the profits rolling. We're going to stock and roll, as they say. But traders, have a great rest of your day. And results will be posted in the Discord, Jay Angelo said as well. So go ahead and hop over there to the Discord. If you haven't joined, go ahead and join that. But good work, guys. It was a lot of fun. Ton of fun. And we'll see you guys in the next competition. All right, traders, take care.